What up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life. You're watching the After Dark Podcast. You're watching the After Dark Podcast, episode number 298. Episode number 298. Major political differences. Can your relationship or friendship survive them? Can your relationship or friendship survive them? Man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight, man. I want to say thank you. So I want to start this off like we always do, you guys, the right way. Dear Heavenly Father, have your way, Lord. Father, I pray less of me and more of you. I pray that you would speak to your people. I pray that you would help us enlighten, entertain, and inform them. I pray, Lord God, that you forgive us of our sins that we've committed both by commission and omission. Charge it to our heads and not our hearts. Help us have a great conversation today. A conversation based in truth and in love and in goodwill and in good faith. We give you glory for all these things in Jesus' name, Lord. Amen, amen, and amen. Yo. What up, man? What up, man? We're going to start this off, man, like we always do. If you want to support DaveLifeTV, hit us in the Cash App. Y'all see it down below. Hit us in the Cash App at $ DaveLifeTV. Hit us in the Venmo at DaveLife. Y'all can send us some coffee money, some food money, whatever you want to send us. All right. If you like one of the panelists, and you like, man, send this to this person, I'll make sure they get it. All right. Just put that in the comment. Let's start this off, man. We got a few people that's going to help us tonight. And let me see who's in the building. I see a few people in the building. I see my sister from another mister. This young lady right here is the host of Inside the Drinker Studio. She is now considered a After Dark vet. She's been here for a year. So I appreciate her and all of her comments and all of her takes. So let's bring to the stage your friend and mine, Michelle F.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dave.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You know what I like about you, Michelle? Michelle, you're resilient, and I appreciate that. I like that about you. It takes
a lot to be resilient.
It does. It does. And you know what else I like about you? You dare to be one of the only... you know what? Let me take that back. Hold on now. I was going to say one of the only Latinos, but we got you, we got Tony Love, and then we got Ocean's Rain because she's part Cuban. Okay. Yeah. Well, you dare to be an outlier and stand out on your own, and you come back every week. So I appreciate that. Tonight we got a topic that I know you're gonna love: political differences.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a challenge.
Political
it's
differences.
Gonna be a good one. I can't wait.
You see how I put major political differences in the title? Because I was like, you know, if you have a major political difference, can your family, can your relationship survive it? That's what we're gonna talk about. So thank you for joining, Michelle. All right. To add to Michelle, I have another young man. This is my brother from another mother. You know what, Michelle? I'm gonna put your ally right next to you. This is my homeboy. We call him Superman. He is the owner of Safe Guy, which is a professional security app. It's like the Uber of security professionals. Come on to the stage, my homeboy, Superman Dre.
How's it going? What up, dog? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Welcome back.
Hi.
Now, I say ally because when we did the Here's How I Voted and Why episode, you guys were on the same team that night. Y'all on the same team. So I said Michelle gonna need some backup tonight, probably.
I'm gonna need some backup. Yeah.
And let me tell you, Dre, if you need security and backup, Dre the guy. Okay, he's the guy you want in the building, helping you out. So thanks for joining, Dre. I appreciate you, man.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, I have my brother from another mother. He looked like Santa Claus. At least tonight he does with the beard. Corey always has a different take on things, you know, because in his own words, he said, "I'm him, Dave. I'm him." Come on to the stage, Big Corey G. Hey, unmute for me, Corey. Come off mute, sir. Hit the mute button. Gotta hit the mute, Corey.
I thought you were supposed to do that for me.
I was. I can do it now. I couldn't do it because you had already hit the button. What up, man?
Oh, okay. What's up, bro?
I'm good, man. How you been, Big Corey?
I'm here.
You straight?
I'm good, dog. I'm good.
All right. What
I'm good.
what kind of hat you got on tonight,
very
man?
white.
What hat is
Actually,
this?
This is one of the first. This is the black major league hat.
Okay.
Back in the day, they're from the Philadelphia area.
Okay, Hilldale. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that's a G. Is that a G or a C? That's a G.
You know it's a G. You know it's a G.
Big Corey G with the G. Hey man, thanks for joining, man. I'm looking forward to see what your take is tonight on politics, because I know you have feelings about things, but I also know you ain't gonna put up with certain stuff when it comes to voting, right? I know Corey feels certain ways, right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna reveal how you voted or whether you voted. I'm just gonna leave it there. Let me bring up my other brother from another mother. This man is a U.S. veteran. He's definitely a straight shooter, and he always has. He don't hold back. So just come on to the stage, brother Sherrod.
What's up, lifers? What's up, family? How y'all doing?
Hi.
Good, man. How you been, right?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Dave. What's up, brother?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you back. You know, whenever we deal with U.S. policy, U.S. politics, or even civil rights and social causes, like, you come to mind, because I know you're out there. You served. You still do things with the VF Dub. You know what I'm saying? You're very vocal, and I know your family has been too. And you're also connected, man. I know you've been to Capitol Hill before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. Yeah.
My man. So thank you for coming to the stage, Sherrod. I'll just say this, Sherrod, you have a strong opinion, just like me. So let's make sure we speak in love tonight. Let's make sure we don't, come too hard at nobody. And that, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Corey.
Okay.
All right.
I don't even know what the hell. What was that? Oh, that's the heart. That's the heart.
Yeah, that's the heart. But I'm hitting you. I'm hitting you with a Illuminati heart eye, because.
Hey, I'm saying there's a whole lot going on, brother.
Hey, you know what I could do? You know what I could have did tonight, Sherrod? I could hit y'all with the.
No, don't do that, sir. No.
My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out.
Sherrod, my heart goes.
Hey, black folks saw that, and we
my heart goes out to you.
We was like, nah, brother, just do this. Just do that.
Right, just this is good enough. This is good enough.
That's all you gotta do, bro.
We ain't got to do all of it.
Anytime that hand goes not perpendicular, but that way.
Yeah, bro, it's a problem. No. I ain't like them grunts. I'm like, my heart goes out. That sounded like he was threatening some people. Anyway,
it was bad.
All right, we have another person. We have this is a new person to the stage. She's a guest. Brother Sherrod invited her. This young lady is in business. Her family's in business and politics, and she's gonna bring a different perspective. Come on to the stage, Miss Tina Brown.
Hi. How's it going?
Good seeing you, Tina. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us like a 20-second about
20
yourself.
second. Yeah. Well, I was saying earlier, my family has been in business since 1914. We own a hospital, funeral home, a couple of funeral homes, cemetery, third beach house on Amelia Island, and we're Black. And it was integrated in 1914. And my son and I in film, marketing, and product integration and branding, because I think that we don't tell our stories far back enough. I was saying our DNA goes back centuries, and we only tell about the first real GOAT, which is the first entrepreneur. So I'm here to kind of say, I know both sides. Okay. But I'm still a strong sister Democrat.
Okay.
But I do the Republican business stuff too. So, Sherrod told me to be nice.
So Miss Tina, can I give you the
No, I don't want that one. I don't know what that is. I don't want that one, It's someone kind to me or something, but I don't want that other thing.
Now let me say this. We already talked about this, y'all. We're doing everything in love. Our jokes are in love.
Absolutely.
So I need the tight faces. I need y'all to smile. We love everybody.
Smile.
I did this, Dre, because you brought it up. Dre, you was like, I thought you was going to hit us with the salute. So, Dre, you started this. I just want you to say you started this. All right, hey, I got a comedian in the building. This is a day oneer ever since we've been on YouTube. Tony's been on the show since we've been on YouTube. He was one of the original 6 that I asked to join the show. Met him in person back in, and Sherrod, when we were at the New Year's party when me and Destiny was in Atlanta, Tony did a comedy set at that event, bro.
The one we couldn't get in?
No, the one we were. Oh yeah, the one we could get in downstairs. Yeah, come on to the stage, comedian Tony Love.
What's going on? What's up, Rob? What's up?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Listen, all I know is, Dave, the next time you tell Sherrod that you don't want to come too hard, you need to put a pause behind that, okay?
Pause.
That's unacceptable.
There he is.
That's unacceptable, Dave.
Yeah, that was unacceptable.
And I don't care what side of the pole you on, pause. You need to pause on behind that, okay? I want to hear all plausible offenses need to be identified immediately.
Pause. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back. Hey, that's a retroactive pause. Let's take that pause back 20 minutes.
Man. You only get 3 pauses per hour. Right there.
My man. Tony, I appreciate you for joining, man. Thanks for coming in. I know. Pause. Thanks.
I ain't gonna take too much more of this now. Okay, this ridiculous now. You just because I'm light skinned and handsome now, you ain't gonna be. I feel like you're coming on to me, Dave.
Thanks for joining us.
I don't like this shit already, man. Thank you for coming in. Wow.
Equal opportunity jokes, y'all. Equal opportunity jokes. Even though yeah, I'm gonna be quiet before I have to pause everything. All right, I got another sister in the building. Welcome back. I see her. She is definitely a day oneer. She's been with us since the Instagram days. She was part of Freestyle Fridays. She's been here on serious nights, and she has an opinion. Come on to the stage, Jamaican goddess, also known as Susie.
What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
How's my sound, everybody? Happy New
That
Year.
sounds good.
It's good.
Okay.
You sound good. Matter of fact, we can get rid of the music. Thank you for joining, Susie. I ain't seen you in a minute.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. So tonight, you guys, we're going to cover major political differences. I'm going to put everybody on mute while I play the video. But this is called Major Political Differences. Can your relationship or friendship survive major political differences? So that's what I want you guys to think about. All right. Boom. Hold up. Well, Corey, for some reason, it's not letting me mute you. There it is. All right, I muted everybody. All right, cool. All right. Let's look at our first I gotta go to the one. Oh God, I'm so nervous. I didn't screen this one, but I'm gonna play it because you know what, we going in tonight. And of course my technology is tripping. There it is. You know what, Michelle? I'm gonna go with my gut. My gut is telling me I need to play one that I actually did get a chance to review. So I'm gonna play this first one first, okay? All right. Here is a video of a young lady that said she had political differences with her boyfriend, and I believe she met her boyfriend's family, and it was a trip what she went through. So I'm going to play this for you guys. There it is. As we wait, I have to there it is. Boom. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna trip out. All right, everybody. Hopefully you guys, if you cannot hear it, let me know because I'm about to press play. No, you can't. No sound. Man, all right. No sound. So we'll play the TikTok version. All right, here we go. TikTok version is right here. There it is. All right, boom. Oh boy, I tell you, it's been a challenge already tonight. All right, boom, we got it. Here we go, y'all. Sorry for the delay. Let's listen to what this young lady here has to say.
For today. So I used to be in a relationship with somebody who I didn't align with politically, or let's say his family. His family didn't align with my political beliefs, and they were extreme. They weren't the type that you could like be cordial with, have a conversation with. They would fly their Blue Lives Matter stickers and flags, and they wore Blue Lives Matter t-shirts. And I remember we had a family sit down because the environment just got so toxic that we had to have a conversation about like, where's this relationship going to go between me and your son, and also me and you guys, because it just does not feel peaceful here. So we had an entire family meeting, which I'm not even going to call it that because it was all of his family versus me, basically. So it was like 15 of his family members, like an aunt, some cousins, all came, and versus me. So I'm sitting at the end of the table, and they're all sitting on the other side, and they're just basically spewing whatever their beliefs are. They're saying they were defending George Floyd's murder, saying that he shouldn't have been doing this or that. And I'm sitting here trying to explain to 15 grown adults why what they're saying is racist and wrong. And my ex at the time just sat there with his arms folded, like he did not say a word. He did not defend me. Because at the time he was like scared of his family. I think he was scared to like disappoint them or go against them. So he just sat there and like didn't defend me one bit. So I'm over here like, what am I even doing? Because these people are not here to be persuaded to think differently. Like, they didn't come into this conversation with an open mind. They came in to further push their beliefs onto me.
I think that might be a decent stopping point. So she had a boyfriend of a different race. She met the family. The family wasn't really feeling her political beliefs. They thought, she specifically called out George Floyd. They were saying, things about that. And she didn't feel supported by her man. All right. So now that's one scenario. We have two more, and I think it's good to just get them out in the open because I think it's going to be similar ideas, but from different angles. So let's listen to this one right here. This one is about 2 minutes. Let's listen to this one.
Who are in a terrible situation because they're next door neighbors who are their closest friends and godparents to their children. One of the couples said, you know what? If anybody I know, any of my neighbors, family, friends voted for Donald Trump, I don't want to be friends with them anymore. Now, my friend happens to be a closet conservative because she runs a business, and the business is personal service. And so she's sort of like an independent contractor, like a hairstylist, if you will. You don't need to broadcast your politics because you have clientele, Democrat, Republican, and otherwise. It's just an unnecessary place to go. But now you've got triggered progressives losing their minds, saying the most obnoxious, ridiculous things. And my friend said to me, I don't know what to do, Wendy. Now I know what I would do. I would tell her to suck it and move along, because that's not a friend I want, but I'm not in this situation. And so I said to her, I said, you know what? You're going to reach your tapping out point. There will be a final straw when you look at that individual in the face and say, you know what? You are the godparent of my children. I voted for Donald Trump. What do you want to do about it? And what a crying shame. Because my friend's children watch and are aware. We're going to decide who's worthy based on a vote. Funny, isn't this all the people out
That was an accident. She said, "Isn't it all the people out there who wanted equality?"
Character, just judge me. Now the biggest.
Hold on.
Jerks,
Let's give her time.
children,
Here it is.
watch and are aware. We're going to decide who's worthy based on a vote. Funny, isn't this all the people out there who wanted equality, who wanted to be judged not based on who they loved or what they look like, but on their character? Just judge me. Now the biggest. Jerks out there. I have dear friends of mine.
All right. So she's saying the people that wanted equality, probably specifically the people that wanted LGBTQ and DEI and everything else. She's saying, "Oh, y'all wanted equality, and you wanted people judged on their character, and now you're judging us because we voted for Trump. You're not giving us a fair shake." All right. And then one more take. This is Stephen A. Smith. We know Stephen A. always has a strong opinion. This is going to be about a minute, and then we can open up the floor. All right. Cool. Let's see what Stephen A. says.
No one gets to tell me how to think. No one gets to tell me who the hell my friends are. Y'all can kiss my you know what. We gonna get that out the way right now. I don't give a damn who it is. Okay? There are plenty of people we work with, we work for, who work with us, for us, who are our friends, who are our family members, and the whole bit that don't think like we think. Stop acting like that's new. I'm from the streets of New York City, Hollis, Queens. And I can tell you right now, without seeing half of them in years, and seeing the other half, some of them gonna vote for Trump. I'm supposed to say they ain't my boys? Really? I'm not voting for them. I'm not voting for them. I'm supposed to disown my friends because they are? I am a person who's pro-life as opposed to pro-choice. But I don't believe in telling a woman what to do with her body. Therefore, I'm pro-choice because I'm always going to support a woman's right to navigate her own body and her own decisions. I'm riding to the end with ladies on that.
All right. So, all right, we had a few different opinions, a few different takes. And what I think I would like to do, all right, I got T said, great topic. So brother T said he want to join, so I'm gonna send him the link. So here's what we're gonna do, y'all. Everybody gets 3 minutes to give their take. Number one, on what you heard. You know, we heard a few different perspectives, and I'm glad we heard a few different perspectives because some of them were Democratic, some were Republican, and then I would say the Stephen A. one was more like, just let me think what I want to think. You ain't gonna tell me. I don't care who you are, and even if I have friends that are different, you can't tell me that I can't be friends with them. So let's just answer the question: can major political differences really destroy a friendship? Can a friendship or a relationship survive major political differences? And I'm gonna go randomly, and I'm gonna start with Dre. All right, where's my mute, Dre? Let me unmute you. All right, Dre, you good? Dre, give us your reaction.
I agree with what Stephen A. Smith was saying, and the young lady, the white lady, because as you know, I voted for Trump, and I have my reasons, and I think everyone should vote for who best aligns with what their vision of the future is for the country. You know, back in the day, you could do that. You know, you could just say, I'm voting for this person, I'm voting for this person. It's no big deal. No one really cares. You know, but right now it's just crazy. I actually lost a friend because he kept coming, and he was a good friend. He kept coming at me and trying to convince me of other things. And I tell him, look, if you don't really want to go there, don't go there with me, because I'm going to come back at you and tell you how I feel about it. You know, then he's the type that's always posting things and saying, oh, look at what Trump just did. I'm like, okay, y'all try to find one little thing and then y'all hype on it, you know? And it's like, every time he did that, it was debunked. You know, I'm like this, look. And I try to tell people, you're looking at too much of the left news or you're looking at too much of the right news. I don't really want to give a shout out to this where I get my source from, but if I tell people go to ground news, they'll tell you what is what on each side. You know, so I tell people go to that all the time. They tell you the truth is my mom, she even comes at me and like, oh, how's your president? I said, actually, he's your president too. You know, if you like it, if you don't, he's your president also. And then she comes up and she starts throwing the same things he's throwing at me. I said, Mom, you're not doing your research. You're just listening to the news, you know, and you watch what is it? NBC, MSNBC or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you watch NBC, ABC, CBS, which are all owned by people who sort of Democrats. So it's like you're not really getting the real news. You're just getting one side of it. I mean, for years they've been pushing the hoax about the Russia collusion, which turned out to be false. For years they've been pushing. He said there's very fine people on both sides, and I was caught up in that because I would only see what they show me. But then when I seen the whole thing, when they said he wouldn't denounce white supremacists, but he was doing it every single time, even in that conversation, but they cut the conversation short, you know? So I'm like this now, like, wait a minute. So this is what they're telling me and I'm not really seeing this. I got to start doing more research, you know? And as I did more research, I found out I didn't like Donald Trump because the news kept telling me he's a bad guy.
Okay. I don't want to cut you off. We'll make sure you got your time. You good?
Okay. Well, yeah. Also, a family member, she said, oh, I have lost all respect for you. I'm like, lost respect for me? Wait a minute. Lost respect for me what? Because I have a different thought. And she said, you're against women. I said, no, I'm not. I'm just interested in the border. I'm interested in economy. I'm interested in this whole, why are we talking about going after women's rights, or we're focusing on women's rights, but then you can't even explain what a woman is. You know, so how are you for women's rights, but you don't know what a woman is? It makes no sense to me.
I feel you. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Dre. I want to give everyone a chance to share their thoughts on. Yeah, I want to make sure you're good though. You good, Dre? And was there anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab my cord because I'm looking at my computer battery is low.
Oh yeah, go ahead, bro. Wave at me when you're ready. All right, cool. I'll see him when he comes back. Yeah, reactions to the videos. We can react to everyone's statements in a minute. But reactions to the video. I see a smile, so I'm gonna put her on the spot. You know who I'm going to? Nope. I'm going to Susie. I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna let some people get some stuff out.
I thought it was Michelle.
Me too. I'm like, okay, here we go. He's playing with me.
Well, Susie, you haven't been here in a while. Give us your reaction. Michelle, I'm gonna put you on mute because I'm hearing a little bit of like a humming noise. Might be the computer. So, Susie, give us your thoughts on, can major political differences cause a friendship or relationship to break? Is it a threat?
Absolutely, because that will expose whether a person really loves you or values you as a friend or a partner, or if they're just tolerating you. Because once that is exposed, sometimes you find out that that person is just tolerating you and they really don't like you. They really don't like anything that you stand for. They really want to see you suffer, but because they have to live next to you, they live in harmony and they keep their thoughts to themselves. So that exposes a lot of that undercurrent of dislike or hatred or all of those things. So sometimes it's good to find out. You just have to be prepared. If you want to know, like Dre said, sometimes if you start those conversations, you have to be ready for what you hear. And it's not always for you to try to change a person's their opinion. You should not do that. I don't believe in that, because sometimes people they're not going to understand until it affects them personally, whether it's the issue you're talking about or it's another issue coming from that same person, for them to actually understand. If they don't feel it, a lot of people don't care, and you have to give it to them. You can't force them to care about something they don't care about. They have that right. Luckily for everyone who is in America, they have the right to care about what they want to care about, and you have to give them that freedom. Now you have the right to choose whether or not you want to be friends or in a relationship with that person, but it's ridiculous to argue about it. And I think a big part of that is, like, the one thing I don't understand is all the labeling. Maybe that's just me. You have to, if we took away Democrat, Republican, far left, far right, conservative, liberal, then you'd have to actually hear what each person thinks. Everyone feels like they have to be on a team and identify with something. No, just what do you feel on this topic? What do you feel on this topic? And leave it at that. I don't want to be labeled as anything. Just ask me about whatever issue it is you want to talk about.
Okay. Did the video, because you're a black woman and I'm black, did the video with the sister affect you differently than say Stephen A. Smith or say the white lady?
No, I tried to look at all of them. I mean, she went to date a white guy. There's certain things that this is not a racist comment. It's just certain things culturally that are not going to align when you choose to date someone of a different background. You have to accept that they can't identify with everything you have going on. It doesn't mean you can't love them or you shouldn't date them, but how dare you try to change their life experience? They have a different view because they have different experiences, and you can't force your black ass views on a Caucasian family. That's what you chose. Now either you're in or you're out, and you want this white man to choose you over his family. You better be happy he just sat there and he didn't talk against you.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Oh, I see somebody new in the building right quick. Is that Brother Dave? Let me unmute you. Unmute yourself, Brother Dave. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, it's me.
What up, man? Good, man.
Hey,
Hold on,
man.
bro.
Hey. Great to be here. Great to be here.
Great to see you. Glad you're here, man. So this is a new family. This is Destiny's uncle. And I'm glad you can join. So just listen in. I got other people that's gonna go. So stay on mute for me, and then we're gonna let other people share their thoughts. Susie, did you get everything out? You good?
Absolutely.
All right. I appreciate you, Susie. Okay. So we're reacting to the three videos that we saw. One was the sister that dated a white guy and had a discussion with the family and was like, this may not work. One was with the white lady whose friend was supposed to be, liberal and wanting everyone to have the content of the character was important. And then she started judging people because they voted for Trump. And then another one was Stephen A. Smith saying, hey, I don't care who you vote for, I'll vote for. Y'all are not going to change how I think. And I'm going to say what I say. I'm going to have my friends. They're going to be who they are. Destiny said, what's up, Unc? I put the little thing up there for you, Uncle D. All right. Let's go with a young lady that's new to the show. Let's go with Mrs. Tina Brown. Tina, give us your reaction to the video and give us your reaction to the idea that can major political differences tear down or destroy a friendship or relationship, or can it survive?
Okay. As I was saying, my family's been in business since 1914, Black family integrated business. But I tell my friends, I have boundaries, and you can't cross those boundaries with me when I feel like your political views are not aligned with mine completely. I think the opinions of people are just that. I think a healthy debate is good. There's nothing wrong with saying to someone, no, look at that. And in terms of facts, when my friends send me things, I say to them, send me 3 different places where you see those facts and then send it to me. Because they send me stuff about entertainers that I'm like, come on, girl, you out here in California. So I think that the algorithms in our phones and our computers, they send us what we look at. So when we look at things, it automatically sends us what we look at. And we don't go outside of that to see other things that are possible. Now, again, I say I'm a Democrat and Republican. I'm a Democrat, but we've been in business for way too long for me to not value certain things. I think you can work until you die. Why? Because my mom is 89, still running the funeral home, our hospital. So certain things I feel like are okay. But a healthy debate about it is fine, and make people do research, not on just one platform, but 3 or 4. There's nothing wrong with MSNBC, CBS, and those actually are ran by Republican executive directors. So that was incorrect saying they were Democrats. They are not. But what you want to do is you just want to kind of go out there and say, okay, let me have a little balance with this. And then as we move forward, actually, Obama and Biden deported more people did than Trump his first term. So we have to have some balance there. And then as we go forward, we have to look at what is going to be healthy for us. I know that we say that, well, I'm only voting because I want everybody deported. Well, what about your children and your grandchildren? What if your niece goes to school and she comes home and her parents are deported? Are you good with that? Are you good with going to churches? Just have a little balance. Don't separate them. So it's okay to do things that are both Democrat and Republicans, because I think they both need to come somewhere in the middle. And we don't do that at all. My family was in politics since Eleanor Roosevelt and Bess Truman. But it was about with Mary McLeod Bethune, but it was really about what can we both do together. So that is that's my opinion. And I think we don't need to just blow it with Biden and Obama and say, we got Obamacare. I love it that our children can get health insurance, and independent contractors can get health insurance at a cheap rate instead of paying $1,000 a month. That was a good thing. And maybe that was what he was there to do and nothing else. So don't blame him because nothing else was done. So we have to look at kind of the strengths and weaknesses of our politicians and give them that one vote for that one thing.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. Next up we have, let's go with Michelle.
Okay. Regarding the videos, right?
Regarding the videos and regarding the question, can a relationship or friendship survive major political differences?
Okay. I'll go with the videos first. In the first video, I understand where she's coming from. I agree to a certain extent. But like some of you have said, I mean, you know what you got yourself into. I'm sure that you probably knew some of the opinions of how your boyfriend, thought before you met the family. So I think that one of the most important things here is not trying to change anybody else. I mean, I don't think that the guy was against her. I don't think that the family were against her, but if you're going to ask and if you're going to bring it to the table, you have to take the heat, learn how to take the heat as well. Mm-hmm. In the second one, I totally agree with the white lady. I feel very strong about that because I have also lost friendships because of this. I've tried to explain myself. I've tried to justify things, and it's just really hard to get those points across. And it's just sad how we have become a very divided society because of how we think. Like Dress said, like this didn't matter back in the day. I mean, you could just think about it. You're in a neighborhood and there's my racist neighbor over there. And then this neighbor over that. And then, there's a block party and everybody gets along. So, yeah. And the last one, I agree with it too. I mean, it's just, I think that we need to humanize this more and, cut the crap out and be honest with each other, but can we really tolerate it? And I think it takes a lot of balls, a lot of ovaries, and a lot of maturity, but I don't think it's impossible. We just need to have the uncomfortable conversation. So, and then also, I need to know where Susie got her t-shirt because I want that.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay.
People would not.
Yeah.
What is it?
What is it? Absolute nightmare. Would not recommend.
So you said would not recommend. That's why it's only 1 star for people.
Exactly.
All right, Michelle. Anything else? You still got time.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna comment the obvious that I'm the one that chose the topic, and I wanted to, hopefully we can have a very productive and constructive conversation here. I just wanted to thank everybody because you guys are showing up to this. This is very important for everybody, and that I hope that we can come out of it, a little bit tighter instead of just saying like, nope, fuck this shit. I'm out. I don't want to say that. I don't want you guys to say that. And I think that we can set an example to the people that are watching us out there that maybe we can prove everybody wrong and we can coexist and we can agree to disagree respectfully.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Appreciate. Thank you for that, Michelle. All right. So the next up would be let's go with well, I don't know if Brother David saw. Did you see? Hold on. Did you see the clips, Brother David?
I saw two of them.
You saw two of them.
The topic is, what the world is talking about right now, really. So
So here's the thing. Everybody that comes up, I'm letting you go because you're new. You got 3 minutes roughly to give us your opinion. So here's a question. Can major political differences cause your relationship or your friendship to break up, or can it survive them? And then you can give us your general reaction to the videos that you saw.
well, in my opinion, the answer to your question is twofold. Yes, major political differences can damage friendships. Should it? I don't think so. Because what happened there was a time in this country where, whether you were Democrat or Republican, you may have had values and things on this end or on the opposite end of the spectrum, but that wasn't what dictated who your friends were all the time. It wasn't what dictated these extreme stances that we seem to take nowadays. Me personally, I'm not a Trump supporter. Don't like the guy, XYZ, but I can't see myself. I'm taking a stance like Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me who my friends are. That's what makes us great as people. We all have different opinions. We all have different values. Some of them are same, some of them mesh with others, some of them don't. But that's what makes us a great people, because we come from different scopes and different places in life, but we can all come together and still sit at the same table. And when we get to a point where it's so divided, and for me, the reason I disagree with Trump's politics per se is because it's very divisive. And if you look at where the Democrats are now, because I wouldn't even say I'm a Democrat, because I do have some conservative values and some liberal values. Like, I don't believe in abortion, for example,
Right.
but I also
Mhm.
don't believe it's my place to tell a woman what her choice should be.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So those two statements conflict if you're saying Republican or Democrat, but in reality, you're like, yeah, this is what I believe, but what you eat don't make me poop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, we need to get back as a country and as the world. It's not, we're seeing it in this country, but it's really this is a microcosm of the world. The world is severely divided right now. When we get to the point where we can't respect what someone else's feelings or how they vote or whatever the case may be, and it's like my way or the highway. What happened to good sportsmanship? You lost, we won, you lost. Congratulate him. Let's move on. And at the end of the day, it's about the country. Like they say, he is our president, whether we like him or not. So we just pray that he does right by the country, even if it's not what we feel like. Because we hope that people step up in moments like this. We hope that leaders step up and do what's right. Now, whether he will or won't, who knows? But we got 4 years, and then we can make another choice. Get out to the box and vote different if that's how you feel.
Right. Okay. All right. Appreciate the comments. Let's see. Let's go with Tony. Tony Love. What's your thoughts on major political differences? Can you survive that in a relationship or not? And give us your general reaction to the 3 videos.
So my sentiments are pretty much very similar to the prior panelists. I think that people are in our lives for different reasons. They add value for different reasons, for whatever. I got comedians who I'm cool with because of comedic style. I got people at work I'm cool with, people I hope that I'm cool with. You on this panel, I don't care if you voted for RuPaul, Dave. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's, you like RuPaul and you want to sashay shot, whatever. That's your business. I'm not gonna stop coming on a panel because you like RuPaul. I
Damn,
could care
Tony.
less. I could care less.
Hey, Sashay Shantae. You
Whatever.
better work.
You know
You
what I'm
better
saying?
work,
In vogue.
bitch.
You remember In Vogue? Yes. In Vogue. Is that what you like? That what you like? I could care less. Okay. In reference to the video, the first video, first of all, she was beautiful, melanated woman. I love that. She was hell. She would ask me to vote for damn Sexy Red. I vote for Sexy Red. I don't give a damn. But if she found a new sugar daddy named Otis to blow her back out, she should just say that. because she knew that her boyfriend peed sitting down when she met him. Okay? Because if he could not stand up for her in that time of her family, he just weak. It had nothing to do with political values.
Not
He
peace.
just would not stand up for his girl, regardless. Damn, did I shut the internet down with that? Did I shut it down?
No, you back, Tone. There you go. I was trying to bring her up. You good?
Oh, you trying to bring her back up.
I'm
All that
trying.
is an excuse. She found a new man who funded her OnlyFans page, and now she want to get rid of the dude who peed sitting down because he's soft. It ain't got nothing to do with political value because he had those same political values when they met. And
Mm.
she's not dating the family, she's dating him. So that's on him to protect her from his family. He should step in and be like, oh, nah, don't even worry about that. And don't even bring her around. That's how he protect her. But he not protecting her, so he weak. I ain't got to know that. So she knew her man peed sitting down when she met him. Okay, we have to learn to be okay with others people's perspectives and point of views, even when they're different from ours. If someone is only your friend when they agree with you, are they really your friend?
Mm.
What we could agree to disagree and move on. So what? You like transgenders, Dave? You got good podcasts. We on the podcast. You got a good thing going here. I'm not gonna stop coming on your podcast because you vote for LGBTQ rights. You know what I'm saying? That's your business.
Tony, come on, man. You throwing me under the bus. First of all,
No, I ain't saying you did, but I'm saying
okay,
if you did, it
but
don't
if I
matter.
did,
If you did, I don't
I'm
care
sorry.
that. Yeah, that ain't
And I'm cool.
pride.
I'm cool with the hypotheticals. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, pride up. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's it. Oh, so what do you think about Stephen A?
I agree. You know, I'm originally from Brooklyn, so I listen. Idle minds a devil's playground. I got too much business going on to care about what you think, what you got going on. More power to you. Sashay Shantae, do what you do. I got a job to do. I got comedy going on. I got traveling. Listen, more power to you. I can care less if you like me. If you don't, hey, people
Okay.
come and go. People come and go every day.
All right. Appreciate you, comedian Tony Love. All right, let's go with we haven't heard from brother Corey. Big Corey G. Can relationships survive major political differences? Relationships and friendships, let's not forget that part. Can relationships and friendships survive major political differences? And your reaction to the 3 videos that we saw.
Let me start with Stephen A. I get what he's saying. I will not trust his barber because I can't trust a man with a small little mustache like that, and that hairline is ridiculous. So anything he says is kind of shaking to me. But I understand what he's saying. The young lady with her boyfriend, you know, she she had a weak man. That's it. Period.
Mm.
Just a weak dude. The family was. I would never bring my girlfriend with my twin. I was like, hey, bring your 2 cousins with you, because this is gonna be ridiculous. Because you already know. But you know, it is what it is. She was wrong. I mean, he was wrong for that. She was wrong because even thinking. But in general, I think I voted was Clinton. I haven't known in my household to no one hate her. I have not liked any president at all, or something they did stirred me wrong. So I realized that it could be Democrat or Republican. They're gonna piss me off somehow, some way. Somebody in the presidency is gonna piss me off. They're gonna say something stupid, do something stupid. Everybody gonna have some type of difference with me because I'm like, this is a dumb motherfucker in office. I have said it with every president. You doing some stupid stuff. But guess what? I'm not the president. I got a household that I got to upkeep. My check don't change. Nothing don't change at all. Period. It's either my community, my household, whatever they do up there. You know what? I realize, it's just Shit still going. From my lifetime, ain't really nothing changed. Period. Nothing. Not too much.
Mm-hmm.
This man says we're in 2025. 2025. Mississippi is still Mississippi.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Alabama is still Alabama. We're in 2025. Alabama's in it's 2015 right now. You go to Mississippi, they in 2010.
I'm tracking.
Ain't no one's caught up.
So you don't put too much stock in what the presidents do, you know?
No, I don't. Not anymore. No. I really stopped that. I really have. I mean, I care my political views. Hey, I wish you do this. I wish you do that. That's not going to happen. I wish they'll talk to each other, you know, cool. I look at how you are. You're just as a person. Are you a good person? And hardly I see that in politics. If you're a good person, you really don't see it too much. Because everything's done changed. We've done split America to two parties. What? I know it's been there for a long time, but guess what? It's unfair to the Americans to have only two choices. It's unfair to Americans to only have these certain things because it's not going to equal out. Somebody's always going to lose. Period.
Okay.
If it's like, the majority won and they voted how many? It was a million something. But guess what? That's just like saying the city of Cincinnati voted more than the city of Atlanta or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Okay.
Just
all right.
keep your relationships happy. You ain't got to talk about it. Y'all go play basketball, talk about sports. Keep those your differences.
Okay. Let me go to someone else that hasn't said anything. I think we got Brother Sherrod. He's the last one that hasn't commented yet. Sherrod, can relationships or friendships survive major political differences? And give us your reaction to those three videos that you saw.
First of all, yes, absolutely. I appreciate everyone's thoughts and mindset on these topics. So, yes, they can. Quite often they do not, because we have a tendency as humans to put the emotional depiction of how we feel into equations and not the factual aspect of what's really relevant. For an example, I vote with my pockets. You know, I'm a military guy, retired. I've worked in the government. I've worked in the private sector. I vote with my pockets. It's just like when a plane is going down, they tell you to don your mask, then help somebody else out. I can't help my community out, whatever community that may be, black, white, whatever. I can't help my community out until I help myself. I think with the first video, the young lady put herself in a position that she already knew, and I'll agree with bro with Lil Love. She knew what she was walking into. What she did was she gave the opportunity for a family who didn't want her there to begin with anyway, the ammunition to fight her. And she became more emotional about it. And then her expectation was for the person who she said that they're dating. They're not married, they're dating. Because she probably wants more from the situation that he wants. That's why he shut the fuck up. That's why he didn't say nothing. He's like, I'm kind of glad they're beating up. This give me a way out. And that could be the case. Or you can look at it from the flip side and saying, yeah, he should have defended her if that's his lady. You're not going to talk to me and mine like that. Not my family. But my family know me. But then that's a different caliber of person and man. I don't know what the dynamics are. But she seems as if she's the type of individual. She had an expectation. That expectation didn't get fulfilled. And her family was like, well, shit, this is the whole bars. We can go all the way in now. Let's do it. Because we don't want this bitch here anyway. We don't want him to have a black chick. I mean, that's really what it's about. I mean, if you really look at the dynamics of it. The other part, I was trying to understand what the second young lady was referring to and talking about. let's be honest, we've been segregated all the way up until probably the 1970s and 80s. I mean, if you really look back in time, with the the Civil Rights Bill in 1964, I've often said that segregation was the worst thing and the best thing that ever happened to us, because we lost our sense of identity, village, and community. So when we lost that, we didn't go, even you can go to Compton, California, where it was all white at one time. Black folk wasn't moving next to them white folks in Compton. And then all of a sudden, the white folks say, you know what, we want to move out of here. We want to move downtown. We want to move to the IE. We want to move to different places. It's the same thing in Cobb County where I stay. I speak to every person I go in the grocery store and talk to. I don't want to stay over MLK. I don't want to stay in SWATs. I don't want to stay off of the Camilton Road. I want to stay where I want to stay. I've afforded the opportunity to be able to stay where I want to stay. And I'm blessed, right? That's simply what it is. Stephen A is Stephen A. You know, he grew up in the hood. He went to a black school. He played ball. He's probably one of the most, I would say, political activists that we have, speaking his mind with no bullshit, no rhetoric, unrehearsed and just really poignant, right? Giving it to you like it is, which I appreciate. But they often told us when we were young, and we often heard it from older folks, don't mix religion and politics. Them two things that are off limits you don't want to talk about, because people have their own devices and their own triggers when it comes to these things, and you don't know what they are. The only person I talk politics to is my dad, because he's a stout Democrat and he can't tell you why. All because he's of a certain age, he's of a certain demographics, and a certain time in America. I don't know what it is to live through civil rights. So he's going to be Republican. You can't tell him
You mean
part of the LGBT
Democrat or Republican? Democrat or Republican? Your dad?
No, he's a Democrat.
Democrat.
Right. Yeah. You can't tell my dad anything about Obama. You can't tell my dad, say, all this LGBT shit got started because of him, right? No, and I'm not, and I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm an independent. I vote however the hell I want. It doesn't really matter. But you can't tell a certain man of a certain age and a certain time in America that, no, your president started all that shit. Your president, the one you love. But they can't tell you what their platforms are. They don't speak on a premise, on a base of fact. It's all feeling. Oh, I never thought I'd see a black president before I died. Okay, so you saw one. Get over it. It happened. But what's next? But they don't like when I talk like that because I'm callous. I'm an asshole. I'm going home at the end of the night. I'm good. I don't really care, right? Because I'll say it. What you eat don't make me shit. If you don't like me, don't hang around me. It's cool. I'm not going to lose any sleep. But certain things I'm not going to talk to certain people about because they can't be civil about it and have a decent conversation. So I choose not to venture into that. Right?
Yeah. Can I jump in? I want to jump in.
Sure.
And because that was about the 3 minutes. I want to stir the pot. All right. I want to stir the pot. I want to address something challenging. Here's the challenging thing when it comes to having a difference of political views, and I have to show the graphic. Major political differences. Here's the key. When you have major political differences, that's like they say there's 3 things you don't want to talk about at work: God, sex, and politics. At work. I was the head of the African American Union at my old job. And it was our job to make sure that when we had Black History Month or when we had our African American Union meetings, that we invited people that were not Black, we invited people that were Black, and we talked about the history of Black people in America, and specifically, contributions to corporate America. We did that. They chose me because they was like, David, you're vocal. And so I did that every month. And I invited people. And it was a way for us to have Black history, I would say, every month, not just in February, because we met once a month. We had presentations, and it was a way to remind people where Black people in this country, our place in this country.
You did that at
Right.
work?
I did. I did because it was a forum. It was a diversity forum, and we were allowed at work to have diversity forums and to share cultural things. Now it was voluntary. You didn't have to show up. So it's however many black people on this panel, I could do it, and all of them could say, I ain't showing up. I'm going to lunch. I know the story of this, that, and the third. I see you, Dave. Right? Or I remember specifically, we had somebody that was LGBTQ. She made every single meeting and didn't miss and was in the front row. And I was just like, man, when this lady is really paying attention. And, she wanted an ally. She'd be like, Dave, why don't you come to our thing? And I was like, oh, it's not my thing. This ain't really my thing. But then I'm like, you know what, though? If you're going to be open at work, David, if you're going to be diverse, she took the time out. You take the time out and go listen. And I did that. And I went and I listened. Now, when she asked me to be an activist and, hey, can you help us do these things? And I was like, no, that's not really my wheelhouse. I'm not gonna get involved. I said, but I'll come listen and see what y'all talking about. And I remember we had a discussion about tolerance and acceptance. And we said, tolerance is, I'm at work. This is a diversity initiative. I can't stop anyone from celebrating. So I'm going to not be judgmental. I'm going to listen and not judge. I'm just going to say, okay, cool. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Or I may come listen. I may sit and say, okay, this is great. And I'm going to go about my business. I'm not going to be a racist. I'm not going to be any of that. I'm just going to tolerate. Now, I don't mean when I go home that I'm going to be an advocate for LGBTQ and an advocate for women's rights or an advocate for whatever. It don't mean that. Tolerance means I'm cool with it and I'm just not going to bother nobody. Acceptance is, you know what, man, I'm about to be an advocate. I understand. I'm with it. I'm going to talk. I'm going to associate. I'm going to march. I'm going to contribute. I'm going to do because I'm making a decision now that I'm going to get involved and take up the cause, whatever it is. And I learned something very important. You cannot legislate acceptance. You cannot put a law in that says you will accept this person. You will accept their views, and you can't even say you will respect them.
Yeah.
No. But what the law can say is you won't violate them.
Mm-hmm.
You will accept it. It's the law, and you don't. And if you're going to be a law-abiding citizen, you won't violate them, but you don't have to like them. That's what I learned. And here's the tough part about can a relationship or a friendship survive political differences? I think sometimes, and I'm gonna speak for myself, sometimes I want my friends to accept what I've been through, accept my pain, accept my experience and validate it. I don't want them to tolerate me. I want them to be like, damn, I never thought about that. Wow. And I'm talking about a real, and see that sort of thing, acceptance, that's a personal choice, y'all. It's deeply spiritual and it's deeply emotional, and it's a revelation. You can't make a non-black person understand how black people feel. You cannot. You can't make them. What you can do is you can endeavor to explain it. You can endeavor to have them have empathy. You can endeavor to say, man, if you my friend, let me bare my heart, right? And if they, if they have the capacity, if they have the desire, then maybe they will. But they're not black. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? So hold on.
Then why do we try so hard then?
This is what I'm getting at.
Why do we try so hard to do that?
This is what I'm getting at. Because I think, and I'm gonna speak for myself, I would love for the people that I love to understand me and to understand my pain. I think I kind of answered the question already. It's acceptance, Sherrod. We try so hard because, just hear me out. I'm gonna talk about me. I try so hard because I want the people close to me to understand me and accept me. Now, I may not try so hard with the person that, I see at work. I don't really talk to them like that. I don't really care to understand their plight. So I just see them at work. Hey, what's up? There's somebody at my job right now that I'm not even gonna say, but they clearly have transitioned, right? And when they showed up, and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they said their name, and I was a little confused. I was a little confused, but I said to myself, "You know what, David? You don't want nobody discriminating against you, so don't you dare to discriminate. What you're gonna do is respect that person. You're gonna respect where they at. They deserve to be at work. You're not gonna look at them sideways, even though their appearance to me was different." I said, I'm gonna shut my ass up because I don't want nobody looking at me if I walk into work with a dashiki on, or if I walk into work with a Malcolm X shirt on. I don't want nobody looking at me like, oh, he's a racist. No, maybe I'm just showing pride in where I come from. Go ahead, Tony.
You know, Dave, kudos to you, man, for going to your transgender training that was non-mandated, and it's just allowing them to penetrate you and your thoughts, and really get them to change your mind and really accept them and let them get inside you and share how they feel. I mean, kudos to you for going to that non-mandated training. And kudos.
That's what I get for bringing a damn comedian on this. That's what you got from that, Tony. That's what you got from that.
I gotta say something. I gotta say this.
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead.
First of all, Tony, you talk a lot about trans people, man. What's going on, bro? you keep bringing it up, man. I'm just saying.
First of all,
that might be a defense mechanism,
First about
He's like, he gonna gather you. He gonna gather you, Dre. He gonna gather you.
More on the subject. Actually, I want to say,
hey, Tony,
when Tina said that I was incorrect. Actually, I did not say that they were Democrats. I said they lean more towards the Democrats. Just like I'm a Democrat that lean more towards the Republicans, especially after COVID. So that I wanted to say that and clear that up. Also, now the whole thing about the thing about with like how I lost my friend, right? And my thing is like this. I love a good debate. So I'm like, come on. I love it. I think we should be able to talk about these things and talk about our differences. That's what brings us all closer together. But a lot of people can't handle that. Even though they say they can't handle that. That's why he just automatically, he wants to jam all his stuff towards me. And I say, well, if you keep sending it to me, I'm going to respond to it. So don't do that. A lot of people can't do that. And I feel like it's crazy that we can't have these discussions. But as my man was saying, there's a lot of people just get into their emotions with it. Me, I never really get into my emotions with it. It's like it's politics. It is what it is.
Can you guys give an example to what makes you guys believe or say that a person cannot handle a difference of opinion? All of you, well, not all of you, quite a few of you have said that person cannot handle the difference of opinion. If they didn't say that, what is it that they do that make you guys feel like they can't handle it?
Okay, for example, the friend that I'm talking about, I can tell when it got emotional for him because he's like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about and fucking. So it's like, oh. Now I can tell he got emotional, and then all of a sudden it went blank. I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. That's when I mean someone can't handle it.
Dre, you asked the question why. Yes, Tina, I'm gonna let you speak. Dre, you asked the question why do some of us try to push it? Man, I honestly think just from talking in my own, monologue there, it's acceptance, man. I think people really want their friends to understand and to accept. I really do. I feel like if a person is pushing that, I'm not gonna say no names. He's not on the panel, but one of my friends during the election time period, I was like, bruh, I'm voting Democratic. I voted Democratic my whole life. The Democrats are not perfect at all, but I feel like they're the party that has the interests of Black people more so than the Republicans. I feel like the Republicans would do racist things against Black people. And I said this, not all Republicans, because I don't even, to be honest, like Susie, I don't like the term liberal or conservative, Republican or Democrat. I'm a Christian. I'm conservative, by belief and faith system. But I'm also black, and I grew up in a household that was a little bit more liberal. So we look at civil rights as a certain thing, but I also look at my spiritual walk as something different. I often, like Shirai said, he vote with his pockets. Shirai said he vote with his pockets. I've often said I do not vote with my Bible. I've often said that. And what I mean by that is I don't believe every president that says they're a Christian is the greatest Christian or the best Christian. So, you know, if Trump says he's a Christian, I don't necessarily believe he's the best. If Obama says he's a Christian, I don't believe he's the best. If W says he's a Christian, I don't believe he's the best. And what kills me is when the evangelical church gets behind these candidates. Because when I was young and growing up in the church, I heard about a minister named Billy Graham who once endorsed presidents and then stopped. Billy Graham stopped. He's like, you know what? I ain't doing that no more because they politicized my faith. And Billy Graham had made a conscious choice in his, older years. I'm not getting behind no president. I'm gonna tell y'all, pray for the president, but I'm not gonna get behind and endorse. So when ministers, even like TD Jakes, get up and endorse, it kind of bothers me as a Christian because I'm like, all right, so now what if this president end up being like Diddy, and you didn't back them and endorse them, and we come to find out he like Diddy or he like
They got behind Jimmy Carter.
They got behind Carter.
No. See, once again, you're getting into the emotional aspect of it. Let's take it all the way back. Politicians have been going to churches for generations because it reaches the masses. The Civil Rights Bill in 1964 never would have gotten passed if it wasn't for a small little black church up in Harlem.
Preach.
And a congressional member out of Harlem that was pushing that. So let's know our history.
But and most politicians come from the church. They come, and politics is not about Christianity. It's about a belief. I think racism is not about a color. Sometimes it's just about the age bracket you're in. I'm 63, so I was there. I integrated gymnastics in the state of Florida in Florida School of the Arts. But because my family was in business, they couldn't touch me. However, with politics. And my mom started the Black Caucus in Florida. But with politics, it's what we don't understand is that's one vote. If you want to change, then you have to vote because your politician is one vote. They might not vote for everything you stand for, but if they vote for the majority of the things that you believe in, then you have to vote for them. If you say you're just going to throw up your hands and flip a coin and this dude or this woman over here and doing half the stuff you need, then you need to look. If the majority rules, we live in a democracy. If 210 people have to vote and you all don't have a majority in 210, then we're always going to say, I don't care because they're not doing nothing. They're not doing anything because you won't say, okay, I'm going to vote this person in this time. But 4 years from now, if he ain't going where we going, we voting him out. But when we vote him out, we're gonna find somebody else that would do better than he did and give us the things that we believe in and that what we're going to. You're never going to get a perfect president or congressperson, but we have to look at who's going to give us the most because each politician is only one vote when it comes to when it counts. They're not going to go across the board and do everything you want to do. And we put our cause before our mission as Black people because we're spiritual. And that's not always our cause. Our mission is, are they going to give us the things we need? Are we going to continue to have things that's going to uplift us, not just as Black people, but as poor people, as average folks? Are the better half of society, are they going to continue to widen that gap? And if not, who do we need to vote for that's not? Because when they vote, it's only one vote. I guarantee you, everything you say, it's only one vote.
It reminded me of something really important. I see you right. My issue that I had with my friend was I was like, bruh, vote. He was like, I don't like the Democrats or the Repubs. I don't like either one of what they doing. I don't like Kamala. 100%. I don't like Trump 100%. So he was like, I ain't voting. And another friend of mine said, well, I'm a write-in a candidate. And I told both of them, I said, if you don't vote, you're giving the candidate that you may not like the most, you're giving them a vote.
And don't complain.
And don't complain because like you said, let's say there's 100 votes. And let's say 5 people decide I ain't voting. You just reduced the number to 95 votes. That made the strength of everyone's vote a little more powerful. So if you don't vote because you want to sit on a bench or you don't like the person or either candidate, then that means that the people that did vote for the candidate you don't like just got more power.
Yeah.
It's better to pick a side, in my personal opinion. Now we're talking about the emotion and things like that. I was trying to answer Dre's question, Sharad. I think the reason his homie kept pushing is because his homie wanted to feel understood or accepted or validated in some manner. And when you're dealing with a friend and you're like, yo, man, don't you really feel that Jordan was the best? Bro, I'm from Chicago. You know, we went through so much without Mike. And some people don't care and they don't see it that way. And what I'm talking about me. If I'm pushing Michael Jordan so hard and Shirai, you ain't trying to hear it. You just don't want to hear it because, you know, Kobe your guy or LeBron your guy, or you don't even give a damn about basketball. What I got to do as a friend is I got to back off. I got to back off and say, you know what?
But that's
I
my
got to
whole
back
point.
off.
That's my whole point.
Oh, you got to head.
most people.
You got to head out, Tone.
Most people don't
Good night,
back
Tony.
off.
Good night, Tony.
Most
Tony.
people
Good night, Tony.
We gonna let Sherrod go. Tony, you good or you good? Okay, we'll see you later, Tone. Thank you for joining, man. That's my man.
Sometimes we have to love our family. We don't have to like them.
So most people don't back off, and the reason that most people don't back off because they want you to buy in to what they feel. Like Dave would talk. Let's just me and Dave. Dave would talk to me till he is nauseated about Michael Jordan. I will say, Dave, I agree with you. Michael Jordan is the best guy of all time. Let me finish drinking my beer and shut the fuck up. I don't care. I've already agreed with you. Let it go. So again, Adam Clayton Powell Jr., it was incumbent on him to understand the game of politics, dealing with a racist president that came after JFK, LBJ. He knew that. But he knew the church was the way in because they were trying to get a bill passed to satisfy the masses. He knew that. So sometimes you got to shake hands with the devil in order to see a glimpse of heaven. But that's the game of politics. It ain't necessarily about how you feel. Hey, let me go ahead and befriend this white boy. Let me go ahead and do what I need to do because this is this going to do. We'll be able to live off of this generations and generations to come, but we can also introduce more legislation to help correct this or adjust this down the line. But let's just get this done now because this is going to affect the masses, right? So many times I've heard people this week in the grocery store, whoo, that was a crazy race. What race we talking about? The race at my son's elementary school? It's like, no, the political race. Have you seen anything on TV? I just flat out lied. Nope, I ain't seen shit. What's going on? Because I don't feel like getting into it. Because half of the people that are talking on it, they don't have enough political prowess to even have an intellectual conversation about it to begin with. Like somebody
5 minutes, 5 second TikTok.
Right. So somebody was trying to tell me today, it was like, hey, you know you ain't gonna get your, I said, you know you ain't gonna get your benefits. I said, my shit'll be in my account come Friday. Trust. I said, stop falling for the magic trick. Stop looking at the pledge that he's doing. I said, see, you learn this in civics 101. The president can't do nothing with the purse. Like, so many people get so consumed with CNN, MSNBC. You better start watching world news channels that really give you the ground level approach. Because all of these news stations and facets, everybody's in uproar. I say, when is somebody gonna say shut the fuck up because they can't move that without Congress? All these executive orders that he signed, that's good. He made good on promises. That's what he's supposed to do. Because he's what is he doing? He's speaking to his base. So
But
he
if
need to do that.
Congress is on his side, if the Senate and the House is his side of that base, then he is going to get a lot of that
No,
accomplished.
that's not how it
Yes, it
works.
is how it
No,
Hold
it
works.
on,
is not.
Everybody's one vote,
It
hold
does
on,
majority
not work
wins.
like that.
hold
Majority
on.
wins.
Government does
One at a
not work
time. One
like
at a
that.
time.
It
One at
works
a time.
in the out years. We're working on FY27 right now. Come on, Tina.
But it'll still happen. Even if it's 2 years,
That's
3 years
not
now,
how it
it'll still
works.
happen.
Money has already been definitized contractually in law to go certain places.
Hold
You
up,
can't
Ryan.
tell us, you can't tell us nothing about this now. We know this shit.
Hold on. Let me jump in for a second. I want to speak to something Tina just said, and it's the fear of, the president. The president doesn't have power to do certain things. However, I want to speak. I want to speak on this. Imagine that the Supreme Court has enough appointees that agree with that president, like MAGA, right? And imagine that the
Yeah.
Supreme Court says, "Hey, when he get in power, expunge all of them cases, all them felonies. They don't matter. When he get in power, in fact, we're gonna make it where any president that does a crime while they're in office, nope, it's free reign." Now, hear me out. Just hear me out. I know that laws are changed and we got checks and balances, but if there was a time when one party can run the House, the Senate, the executive branch, and the Supreme
And
Court, if that ever happens, then
right now,
what could happen is what happened in Nazi Germany. What could happen is one person could come to power beyond the checks and balances that are in the Constitution and can almost be made a dictator and a king. Now, just hear me out, y'all. I know that you might be thinking I'm saying conspiracy stuff. I'm not. What I'm saying is you need people that feel like myself that can say, "Hey, hold on now. Don't let the president become a king, because if he does, we're gonna have a hard time checking him, right?" We need watchdogs to say, "Hey, wait a minute. Is this what they're trying to do?" Because if you say Project 2025 is going to roll back all of these liberties, and then you get into office and you see a bunch of executive orders, now we talking about everybody being open, right? I'm sharing the thought process. I'm not accusing or any of that. I'm saying we got to be open to the idea that we need people that say, like Sherrod, "Hey man, the president can't do nothing but this, that, and the third. I'm going to vote with my pocket. This is how politics go. I understand the political game." We need that person, but we also need the person that says, "Well, hold on now, but what if it does go south? Well, what if it does?" And we need to make sure that it doesn't, through whatever measures of voting, whatever measures of whatever we got to do, protest and legally, we got to make sure that it doesn't turn into Nazi Germany. Because what if it did? I think a person with the political idea that I have, and a person with Sherrod's political idea, and a person with Dre's political idea, and even a person with Corey, I think we all need to exist, because it balances it out. Because what we don't want is a dictatorship. We don't want to look up and January 6th goes another way and Nancy Pelosi is hung and the vice president is killed, and Trump puts the military out and does kind of crazy shit. We don't want to see that happen. We always say it can't happen. That's insane. That would never happen, until it does. And then when it does, it's like, oh shit, we just bypassed all these scary signs for months. That's all I'm saying. I think that point of view, we shouldn't become radical and all of that, but we need to think about it and put things in place to stop that. That's what I believe when it comes to political differences. I think that
A little food for thought. I was like taking in everything and what everyone was saying, and I believe Sherrod, and I forgot who the other person was that said. I believe it was okay. Someone said about what they eat don't make someone else poop, and then Sherrod said he votes with his pocket. And a lot of people lately have been saying pretty much they vote for what they want to see, right? So as I'm thinking about that, I was like, okay, I've been a bit naive because I would think what's best for the masses, That's what I was thinking. So then as I thought further about what everyone was saying, I was like, well, okay. So if Trump chooses to do what's best for himself and his friends, would he be wrong? Like he got the vote so he could get the power. Now, what if he just does what's good for himself, his family, his pockets, and his friends?
I think that's what all politicians do, though. It's not just Trump. See, we've
No, they
got to
don't.
I think all politicians do what's best for their constituents and their base, and the people who got them in the positions that they're in. So if I have
I mean
major
personal, not the I don't mean like his voters. I mean his close people, not his
millionaires hang around
constituents.
millionaires, broke people hang around broke people until they get wised up and they have a mindset to hang around people who want more. So you're only going to hang around what your ceiling is capable of letting you hang around.
But Rod, hold up,
You know
hold on.
billionaires that hang around with broke people?
No, I don't. But hold on, Rod. I want to make sure I'm clarifying Susie's point. Susie, are you saying that if a president decided to just help out his crew, that it could be possibly corrupt if he only did that? Or I don't want to make your point, but did you finish your point?
I wanted to know, like, because people are justifying voting for what benefits themselves first and their household first, individually. So if a president chooses to focus on what benefits himself and his household first,
It can
is
be
that
bad.
wrong?
It can be bad, in my opinion, because Barack said, I'm the president of the whole United States, not just black folks. That's what Barack said. And then black folks criticized him and said he ain't do shit for black folks. But he was like, I'm everybody's president. I'm not just the president of black people. I've said this 1,000 times. I said, can you imagine if a black president got up there and said, we're going to do Project 2025. And in Project 2025, we're going to roll back everything for white people. They're not going to be able to do this, this, and this. We're going to make sure that black people are able to do this, this, and this. And we're going to...
The black president says that, right?
I did.
When did Trump say that?
See, that's the thing, Dre. And I don't want to get too deep. I saw Chef T. He got to come up too. I feel that some people are not honestly legislating. I feel like some people...
This is what we're talking about. Feelings.
Hold on. We have emotions for a reason. I said this on another show. There's nothing wrong with a human being, male or female, saying I feel something. So I can't be shamed for having feelings.
It's not at all.
But I understand what I
try
understand
not
what you
to
mean.
brush it too broad. Don't brush it too broad. The question was like very narrow on purpose. I understand where you're going with the doing it for black people thing. No, black people is not his household. There are black people within his household. I'm talking about individuals.
So if Obama only helped the Obamas, he did whatever he could where Michelle, Sasha, and Malia and Barack were the only ones that was going to benefit. That would be hella wrong. Why are you legislating? You're not for the people. You're for yourself. That would be wrong to me.
So where does the double standard come in that the voters can be selfish, but the leaders can't? They're all people.
Here's the thing about that. Voters can be selfish, but the leaders can't. But I'm not leading a whole country.
There you go. I agree.
I'm not leading the whole country, and I'm not trying to lead the whole country. So I'm focused on me and mine. And
I agree.
Looking at him, if he's going to make it harder for me or easier for me. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So if I was trying to do the whole country, then I would have to think that way. I'm not. He is.
Brother.
How would you change that mindset? So that means you'd have to trust that person to not be selfish, self-motivated, right? You'd have to trust that person based only on whatever media you choose to follow, because the media only knows what that person exposes to the media. No one knows what Trump is really going to do other than who hangs out with him.
The truth is, I don't trust any of them for that much, honestly, to tell you the truth, because everybody's looking out for themselves. But all we can do is go on what they say. Their campaigns that they run, all we can do is go on that. We can hope that they'll do what they say, but that's why they run the campaign. Say, I will do this for you, and I will do that, and I will do this.
But then once they get in office, Dre. But then once they get in office, we can look at what they're doing.
Exactly.
Right?
You have to hold them accountable.
And I'm going to Brother David, Chef T. Go ahead. I don't want to bypass you.
I just two things real quick. First thing is when in modern history have we seen a president leave office broke? That's the first thing I want to say. That's just a statement I'm putting out there. That's the first thing. The second thing is
Jimmy Carter.
I'm gonna give you full disclosure here. And in Islam,
He wasn't broke,
when we
Corey.
choose our leaders, or
Yes,
the
he
way it's
was
supposed to
broke.
be.
Yes, he was
'Cause
broke.
Hold on,
I'm
Jimmy Carter left broke, Corey.
But I'm saying in recent history, I
No.
was born the year Jimmy Carter left office. So this 45 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So that was more rhetorical than anything, that question. But full disclosure, I'm a Muslim. Now, when you're talking about something like true Islam, when we pick our leaders, it should be based on the person that doesn't want the position. And that's because when the person seeks these positions, you get that even if your intentions are good, everything that you want to do is good, ultimate or what do they call, I forget the saying, but it says like ultimate power corrupts.
Absolute power.
Absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
And it can corrupt the humblest person, the simplest person, whatever the case may be. So like just like you said, any person that gets in that office, if they're doing something to benefit themselves, you hope that it trickles down to you. Because that's basically what you're hoping for. That some of what they're doing to benefit themselves will trickle down to you. What we really got to focus on in this country is the grassroots. Get into our local elections and try and work on stuff that's impacting us daily. And not only that, teaching the next generation about this too. Because you know how many kids and stuff we run across that don't give a damn about voting or just want to vote for Trump because he pardoned Kodak Black? You get what I'm saying? Like it's no civic education going on. It's none of this. So my thing is, I'm not gonna be mad. Back to the original topic, I'm not gonna be mad or upset because my friend here he voted for Trump or my friend here he voted for Kamala. Because at the end of the day, most people don't have the civic education they need to make an informed decision anyway.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my little side thoughts on it. But like when you seek in the position, if this is something that you're looking for, then in my opinion, in a just world, you shouldn't be the person to get the position. The people should go out and say, we want to choose this person because he has the character, he has the morals that we stand for, and this is who we want to nominate. Not because he's seeking this position. But this is the society that we live in.
Right.
Well, I kind of think that's dangerous.
You have to be qualified as well.
Exactly. That's why I say I think that's dangerous too, because for us to go out there and look for someone, say we look for a senator. Guess what? The senator seek that position as a senator. You know what I mean? Or a governor. They all seek a position, and those are the people that we choose from. Now, if we go get someone that has no knowledge of any of this and say, "Oh, we like their character," that's dangerous too. You know.
Well, that's what's happening right now.
Exactly.
The president needs to have some kind of qualifications. You can be a senator or you can be a commissioner and learn that because something had happened in your family that's tragic, and you go to commission meetings and you learned, and it's a learned behavior. But you can't be president because you can't be president of a corporation and not be qualified. You can't be vice president. You can't be treasurer. You can't sit on the executive board. So to treat government like there's no qualifications there, the same qualifications that your boss has to have, or you have to be a boss, you have to be qualified. Excuse me, in politics, and the president definitely needs to be qualified to hit a nuke or to not, give Saddam secrets because he want to come to his golf club or whatever. It's got to be some checks and balances and qualifications there somewhere.
But nobody was qualified until they were qualified.
That's not the law. The law is honestly anyone could run for presidency.
Anyone.
No.
You don't. That is the law. You can say no all you like. That's the law.
Well, you got to have money and you got to have some kind of background.
What I'm saying, you might have to have some money or whatever.
Me and you can't run. We ain't got no money.
We can run. We can run.
You might not have a chance, but you can run.
Yeah, so go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey.
Incorrect.
Don't even have the qualifications to be nominated. The money and the people.
Hold on, Miss Tina. Let Dre finish.
I can't run for it.
Let Dre finish.
I can run. You can run. Each and every person is born in America can run for presidency. They don't have to go to be a mayor or
not no more.
The money is not there for everybody to run.
but that does not mean you can't run. If
Hold
I
on, Miss
have
Tina.
money, I can run, right?
Hold on, Miss Tina. Let him finish. Yeah.
If
You're
I
right.
have money, I can run. No one knows anything about me. I just come in with a ton of money, and they can't say I can't run. No one knows if I have money or not. Now, if I can't afford to go on a campaign, then you'll find out I can't continue on this momentum. But you can run.
This is the key. This is the key, and I think we're missing. This is not a new premise, right? This is not new. If you guys ever saw the special on the History Channel, the men who built America, right? And there's a couple of people on that History Channel.
Yeah.
Adams was running for presidency. He didn't have the money. Rockefeller got together with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt got together with J.C. Morgan. J.C. Morgan got together with Carnegie. And they said, you know what? We need to put this cat in office. So however much money he needs to get to run, let's back him. Let's buy a president.
Exactly.
Everybody's been doing that since the beginning of the time. If the masses who have the money want you in those positions, they call it super PACs now. It's just a different name for it. If they have the money now, they're going to put you there because you're going to do their bidding, allegedly. You're going to do their bidding. And the reason they put you there, because they want laissez-faire. They want tax without representation. They want all these things. That's why they pay for you to be in that position. Trump's no different. Our political system has turned into a soap opera and a Desperate Housewives show. Whoever's the most popular person, whoever says the most ridiculous shit gets the most views. It's senseless. It is. But that's the society we live in. So once again, it goes back to civics 101. Most people are doing this all day.
Scrolling.
So the same things that, like you said earlier, Tina, it is an algorithm. That algorithm is all based on statistics and analytics. It is built to push what you've been scrolling and looking at all day. So therefore, it's going to push your mind to think and see certain things. It's the same way with politics. That's why when we have these conversations, like people get so mad when they start talking about politics. I've been listening to them. I'm like, this fucker don't even have a clue. They don't even know what that person's platform is, but they're voting for him. Well, I like him because he speaks to me. So does Jesus, but that don't mean he here for you to vote for him.
Hey, let me jump in right quick, y'all. So we had two trolls try to jump into the chat. If y'all are looking at the interior chat for the show, somebody came in and tried to act like they were Michelle. That was not Michelle. She didn't write that. It was some ignorant people. So here's what happened. I hear clicks when people come in, and when I tried to get Chef T to join, I posted the link. So it's out there on Facebook. It's out there on YouTube. So trolls can see the link and they click in it. And if they know StreamYard, they jumping in. So Michelle, everybody that saw, the racist stuff that was put in the chat, that was not us. There was no one in this, and there was none of us. That was some trolls. And that's why y'all saw me do this. I was looking. I'm like, I'm not adding these people. I don't know these people. So, y'all just forgive them for putting that in there. That was not us, because we don't get down like that.
No, that's true. All politics is local. I agree. I'm not even reading the chat. I'm reading it now. Tip O'Neill said that one of the past former speakers of the House, he said all politics is local. If we remember that and just vote locally, hell, we can't even get black people in Atlanta to show up locally to vote.
Right. Hey, so I want to bring us back on track. I think that we're discussing like can major political differences break up a relationship or a friendship? And I think when Dre was like, "Hey, my friend, did this," and I think Susie said, "Why would a friend keep pressing?" My answer was because they're trying to be understood. They want to be heard and all of that. So let's deal with this next question before we close shop. We'll close shop in like 20 minutes. Let's deal with this next question. Why do we want to be heard or understood by our friend or by a stranger? And let me add. Oh, I see you, big dog. Corey, you got an answer to that? Let me unmute you, Corey. Okay, go ahead, Corey. You got a slight delay, Corey.
Okay, there we go. You said, why do we want to be heard?
By
Just
our
a little
friends,
delay, I know.
Or maybe or even
the
strangers.
reason why because we do have a connection to them, and there's a difference. I had we're still friends to this day, but you know, I had a Caucasian friend I used to work with, and my experience is different from her experience. She explained to me why she didn't like Barack Obama at the time. And I said, okay, can you tell me why? You know, it's a regular, give me a direct answer. So I said, okay, let's go financial. You have both problems. You live in Beaufort. You live in Lake Lanier while he was president. Can you tell me, at that time, was he a good president or a bad president? Because you have both problems. Well, of course, everything is fine. I said, so is it something he did, or you just didn't like his views? Well, I just like some of the things he said. I said, okay, great, I get it. I have car problems. You have boat problems. There's a difference. We're going financial. I'm talking about my financial side. I gotta get a carburetor. You talking about changing your rugs or your floor to your boat, and we work at the same company. So yes, there's a stretch in our problems. And she said, "Oh, I kind of get it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still struggling a little bit. You're really not. So what is your problem? It's something more personal than political, and you can't tell me that." And she's like, "Yeah, I just don't like certain things he does personally." I said, "Okay, just say that. There's a difference."
So let's go back to the video.
And I said, "I don't like everything he does either."
Let's go back to the video where the black lady said, I'm over here trying to convince 16 adults, talking about her white boyfriend and his family. I'm trying to convince 16 adults as to why their views are racist or this, that, and the third.
After the video, Dave, I have a short answer to that question you asked. So go ahead.
So she was in a relationship, so I understand why she would try to convince her boyfriend's family, because she's probably thinking about marriage. But there are some people who have made up their mind. Let's pick me, for instance. I make up my mind and I say, hey, man, I don't trust nothing that these Republicans are doing. Like, I'll be open, but I'm not about to be blind. I'm not going to let them just put stuff in the atmosphere that's going to hurt black people, because I'm concerned about black people, right? That's Dave. I'm going to stay on that. I'm probably not going to come off of that. But that doesn't mean I have to be a racist. That doesn't mean that I have to have a problem with all white people. I just have a problem with racist white people. You understand what I mean? But if a person were to talk to me and say, hey, David, the Proud Boys aren't racist, I'd be like, nah, come on, don't even try that with me. Hey, David, the KKK isn't racist. I'd be like, don't even try that with me. Hey, David, the neo-Nazis aren't racist. They just want what's best for white men. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, because they trying to hurt black people in the process. You can't tell me different. So how do we deal with people like myself or someone on the other side that just ain't trying to hear it? They ain't trying to hear it. They're like, bro, I've been through this. Black people did me like this, and this. I don't trust black people. White people did this, and this. I don't trust.
Why are you trying
Republicans.
to convince them? Why are you trying? Stop trying. Like that, you're trying to get a different result doing the same thing. That's the definition of insanity. Like, see, Dave, that's you though. That's who you are, because I know you. You gonna press and gonna press and gonna press. I cut the sling load 3 days ago in that conversation.
Right.
You know why? Once I figure out who you are and there's no convincing, I leave it alone. I don't even try to convince you.
Michelle, I don't hear you, Michelle. Can you say something? No, I can't. Can y'all hear Michelle? No, something's up with your volume, Michelle. All right. Susie, you were gonna say
what was
something.
the
Michelle?
initial? Yeah, the first question you asked Corey was what again? What was it? Because I had a quick answer. Get it out the way and then let everyone else speak.
About the black lady that was fussing with the 16 boyfriend.
People? You're trying to
Why would
convince 16 people.
hold on, Rod.
Why
Hold on,
what?
Rod. Why would she
What was
try to convince her boyfriend's family, 16 grown adults? Why would she try to convince them that their thoughts are racist?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, can I finish my little thing? Um,
Hold on, Susie. I'm coming straight to you, Michelle, because Susie was trying to finish. What were
I'll
you
be
saying?
quick. I'll be quick.
yeah, go for it.
So I feel like I think the question was something else though that you asked him first. But why would you try to convince a person,
Convince.
or why would you take it to heart? It was something along those lines.
Hmm.
Why is it so important? The thing for me, or the thing that I think, like Sherrod said something earlier, he's blessed. And it's so good that he acknowledges, like, not saying it was just given to him. I'm sure you worked hard for everything you have to put you in a position to be blessed,
Mhm.
right? So you don't have to care about certain things. So it's about self-preservation. When a person is saying something, you could argue about basketball and not have the same opinion. I wouldn't care. I'll walk away from that. But let's say I'm a transgender person. Let's say I'm an illegal immigrant. If someone is saying strong opinions in something that could physically hurt me or affect my life, which you only get one of,
Mhm.
I have to pull away from that
Yes,
person because they
Fan.
are a danger to me.
Mhm.
They're dangerous. That's my only thing. It's about self-preservation. It's about protecting yourself. If someone is so, you think you're friends until they have an opportunity to hurt you, and then you now become collateral damage because you're in the way of what they think is important to them. They liked you, but they don't like you more than what they want, and they are okay with watching you being hurt in order to get what they want. That person is dangerous, so I have to cut them off. I'm not going to go back and forth. Now, what about the people back in the slave days? They weren't blessed enough to allow to just cut people off. They had to fight to change things because they were in danger. And that's all I had to say.
Great point, Michelle.
What I want to ask, I mean, because we're judging the video on her side, this is her perspective, this is her story, and this happens a lot. And I want to know, how do we, how do I put this? She's saying that they,
Hold up, Michelle. Just went out again. Can y'all hear Michelle?
Mm-mm.
It went out again, Michelle.
Dave, I'll be right back. I got a statement to make. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can you do it
Just
without the headphones,
wave
Michelle?
at me when you're ready, Dre. Um, dang, it might be a battery or a power thing, Michelle. I didn't mean to. Sherrod, I know you were making a point a little bit earlier. I know you said why
I
try to
don't.
convince people.
Yeah, I don't have. See, I work at a certain vibration,
okay,
right?
can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're back.
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Yeah, it was a battery from my mic over here.
okay.
Anyways, we were not at the table listening to what these people said exactly. That's her perspective. And this is one of the things that I always struggle when having conversations with people or looking at conversations online, you know, because everybody's like, oh no, that's just racist. And they were racist. Well, I don't know what it was said. And maybe that's your perspective. That's what you understood as racist. But if I hear the conversation, maybe it wasn't racist. You just didn't like it. Like Sherrod said, we involve a lot of emotions. So that's one of the things that I wanted to bring up because we live in a very intolerant society right now that you cannot say blue because then you're like, oh, you hate red. You said blue, you hate red. That's not what I meant to say. That where do you get these ideas? And we're dealing with that. So that's my point.
No,
And that's a strong point. That's a
I agree
strong
with you.
point.
I agree with you, Michelle. The older I've gotten, the less tolerant I've gotten for bullshit.
Yeah, me too.
I've always had patience, but my tolerance is growing nigh, as they say in a good book. And the reason I know that about thyself. So what do? I shut the fuck up and I don't have certain conversations with certain people who have a certain zeal for certain topics. I just don't because I know their mindset is at a certain vibration that mine is not on. You listen, I used to be the senior veteran advisor for a congresswoman. And you would be amazed at the type of shit that people who never served a day in the military have said about people in the military. And I would be sitting in rooms listening like, that is so far off base. That ain't even near the standpoint of what they should be talking about. But you know why? They hear it from someplace else. That telephone game makes it reality. And now their perception is their reality. And when someone comes like me, like, no, that ain't how the Army works. Army works like this. How would you know? I was fucking in it.
Yeah,
and
I think that is the biggest challenge right now to keep friendships.
You saying just because you was in the military and you was in the Army and you was deployed twice, you think you know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Yeah, I do. But when you had that conversation, guess what happens? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because right now we're assuming that the girl in the video, oh, poor pobrecita, you know, she was with a bunch of racist people. Right. What if the conversation, we don't know the conversation. What if they were not, but she took it that way?
Hold on.
She took it that way.
Hold on. I got to say something about that, right? Wait a minute. Oh, God. Here go Dre. This guy. This fucking Dre.
Uh-oh. Hey, where that shit, Dre? What's up?
Dre, unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, man.
Fly,
unmute your mic.
Fly, baby. Where that shit, Dre?
Unmute your mic, Dre. That's the statement. That's the statement.
That's the statement, baby.
Hey, we gotta give you credit. Hey man, congratulations to the Eagles for making it to the Super Bowl. Hopefully they can do something.
Yeah, man. Well, you know I'm from Philly originally, so
yeah, no doubt. So he said he had to make a statement. So look, y'all. We just said if a person has been on 2 tours in the military, and they say this is how the military work, and they listen to someone else that may not. What Sherrod? What the hell? That's your statement. Oh, the Eagles. Okay. So I want to make a point. I'm gonna use y'all point to make a point, a counterpoint. So let's just say we have a person that did 2 tours in the military, right? And that person knows how the military functions because they did it. They served. They did tours. Then you got a person that ain't never served, and they're like, "Oh, the military ain't working like that." No, y'all are wrong. And then the person in the military is like, "Dude, what the hell are you talking about? I've been there."
Right.
Couldn't a person who's Jewish, who may have been through the Holocaust, who may have had family members been through the Holocaust, wouldn't they be more qualified to say that's anti-Semitic? Hold up. I know what that looked like because I've seen it. Likewise, wouldn't a black person have more knowledge to say that's racist against black folks, or that's a bias against black folks? I know you heard that you think that the Proud Boys are just a normal community organization, but I've seen this, I've experienced it, and based on my experience, you might want to lean on what I'm saying, that this is racist, versus what another person who's never experienced racism against black folks. I'm saying we got to think about that, because just because a person says, I don't like this is a problem, this is racist, it don't mean that it's not. It doesn't mean that it's not. And we should sometimes lean on the people that have experience in those areas. And let me just say this. I have a hold on, Corey, go on mute, Corey. I have a problem when people try to tell me as a black person what's not racist against black people, because I can't tell a Jewish person what's not anti-Semitic, and I can't tell a gay person what's not homophobic, and I can't tell a trans person what's not transphobic. I can't. I am an authority, and black people who've been through stuff are an authority on going through black problems and experiencing racism at the hands of white folks. That we are, and we should not be discredited just because America has never really acknowledged it, and they just want to sweep it under the rug, and it's an ugly part of our culture. I'm sorry.
Unless your name is Clarence Thomas.
Well,
is it racism? Is it racism if they don't know if they're being racist?
Say it again.
Wait.
So they call it. I'm sorry, Dre. Say it again so the crowd can hear it, Susie.
Is it racism if they don't know they're being racist?
No.
Or is it just hurtful?
No, it is racial insensitivity and it's racial ignorance. See, just because you don't know it's racist, or you don't know it's transphobic, or you don't know it's anti-Semitic, just because you don't know because you're not educated, it doesn't mean that it's not. It means that you might have a bias because you haven't been exposed, or you haven't been trained, or you haven't ever met and talked to someone and walked in their mind, a mile in their footsteps. It could be that you're insensitive or that you're racially ignorant. And I'm not even saying that as a slight. I'm just being real. You just may not fully understand.
But I think you're going too
Here's the thing.
far.
Let me say this. You can't really go on that. I mean, of course, I agree with that in a straight what's right, what's wrong. I
Right.
agree with that, but
Right.
it's not always just what's right, what's wrong, because you have what I call race hustlers. You also have people that just says, oh, this is racism just because it helps them out at this point. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's
I remember I was working at a club one time doing security, and I wouldn't let this guy in because he was being noisy. He was messing with people in the line. He was picking on people, and I said, brother, you can't come in here. And he turned around and said, I was racist. He was a black guy. I was up there like this. Excuse me? So you got to be careful about everyone screaming racism just because we're black. Now, as far as the transphobic, homophobic thing like that, yes, you can call some of that out because a phobia means you have a fear of something. But they're saying if you don't agree with me, you're transphobic. If you don't sleep
Right, that's
with me,
crazy.
you're transphobic. That's where it's going today. So
I
that's why
understand.
I say you kind of, I get what you're saying, but you kind of can't go all out and say just because you're black.
I agree. No, I agree.
I've been hurt
I want to make
racially.
that clear. I agree.
I've been hurt racially by someone who wasn't racist. They were, you said insensitive, and what was the other word? Racially ignorant. Like
Yes.
they've said something that hurt me racially, but they weren't a racist person. It wasn't coming from a racist aspect. Like there's been some times where it's different, and there have been people who are racist who have tried to hurt me racially and failed. So it's like the racist. I want, when we say someone is racist, I want it to hold weight, because if it's getting thrown around too much, people won't take it seriously. Now, when people are actually racist, everyone else will say, oh, they're using a race card. No, sometimes people are racist, but there's also many aspects when they're not. I don't know. It's just,
Susie, let me let me ask you this: when that person was racist towards you, or there was a comment made, and they didn't know it, or didn't feel like they were didn't feel like they were saying anything that was slighting you, did you correct them because y'all had a friendship? And did you take the liberty to say, hey, what you just said was not proper, and this is why? Did you take the time to do that?
yes, without labeling it racism, without calling them a racist, because it took a second to think about where it was coming from. That's where, like, I always pause when I'm unsure, and I go like this. In the minute, right in the moment, I'm like, this bitch just tried me. Or did this bitch just try me?
Right.
And then when I
Two
come to the
different
conclusion,
questions.
it determines, yes, it determines how do I deal with it. And I realized they didn't mean it that way. And then I told them, this is kind of rude to say to a black person,
There you
not,
go.
hey, this is racist.
And I think that's fair. And I want to go ahead, Tina. But I think that's fair. You have to use candor because you don't want to just, like Dre said, you don't want to just be levying. That's a broad brushstroke because you wouldn't want nobody to do it to you.
Right.
I think more so what I was saying was if someone is saying very clearly this bothers me and it feels like it's a racial thing, don't just brush them off because I'm gonna say the average person that cares about a friend, they're not just gonna throw that shit out there because it's a Tuesday. They're gonna be like, hey, no, I need you to understand. Hear me. This upsets me because of this, and this. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a real friend, you will go, okay, well, let me at least think about that. Damn. Because you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I was going with it. Tina, go ahead.
So so I'm going to say this first, the topic of the first girl with the 15. First, you never go into that kind of line of fire with 12 to 15 people and you're going to debate by yourself,
Right.
So you already going in there with some bias and you trying to actually probably still get out of that relationship just like he was. But you have to have some balance. I'm black. I'm all black. My daddy was truffles, chocolate brown, hazel eyes, curly hair. My mom was creamy yellow. I'm somewhere in between. I was always labeled the other. They told me I couldn't be a patrolman because the little boys wanted to get off their post to play with me. Little girls wanted to fight me, so I couldn't be a patrolman. So, but what my dad said, Sister Brown, thank God you have that kind of power. Use that and balance that out in your life, because everybody that comes at you, some of them will mean it, some of them won't, and sometimes you got to walk away, and sometimes you just got to beat the little girl up. And he said, I got you. But they taught me balance. Sometimes you just can't hear it. And sometimes you have to look at another person's side for a second. Because, with politics or whatever it is, you're never going to agree all the way, but you got to find a common ground. So I think in politics and everything, we have to find a common ground with people that we can find a common ground with. With my best friends, I tell her I have boundaries. You're not going to talk about this. You ain't going in with Trump down that rabbit hole with me. You can go in a little bit and we can talk about the VA. We can talk about whatever you want, but I'm not going there with you. And she goes, okay, well, I don't want to go here with you. I said, okay, done. We won't do it. And when she does on purpose, then I just won't talk to her for about a week to let her know you crossed over that line. That's how we stay friends, because I would not allow her to bait me into going toe to toe with crazy or with what I think is crazy. Because for her, she has no children, so she think it's fine to go into and go to church and take everybody and deport them. I'm like, okay, what if the children are at home? Oh, that's right. You ain't been married. You don't have any. So you ain't thinking about that. So sometimes we just have to balance those boundaries out and come to a common ground with the things that we can agree upon. And those things we don't, we just have to say, look, I'm not going there with you. You're my friend. If you want to stay my friend, I ain't going there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Corey, you want to go?
Yeah, Corey and
Corey go,
Michelle.
and then I have something to say.
Corey, you got to unmute.
Corey, where are you?
Corey's struggling with the internet today.
And he has a delay. Yeah, we can hear you now. He has a delay. We can hear you.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you. You good.
So I've heard everybody's. My thing is this. I think most people don't even know how to have a conversation at all. I think we have one side, and we become two bulls, and then we do this all day. We just bump heads. It's never like this. It's never. I think we're especially now with TikTok, Facebook, whatever. You don't even have conversations anymore. You don't even know how to discuss things anymore. You don't even most people don't even have the know-it-all to let somebody speak, pause. Are you done? You good? You finished? Then I'm going to come, retort, rebuttal, come back. We go like this all day. All day. Even our politicians. Look how they're doing it in the Congress. They're going back and forth. I held the floor. Give me my time. Yep. It's like no one knows how to speak to each other. I think that's part of the problem, because I can't accept your thoughts if I'm already not even listening. I'm already going to the next phase of my argument, because I didn't listen to what you just said. I'm ready to rebut already. So I think that's an issue in general, period, with most people about differences and relationships and just knowing how to communicate, period.
Yeah.
Is my delay over now?
Yeah.
Listening to talk. That's what it is.
I must take my leave of you guys.
Oh, you got to go, Dave?
It's not because I want to. My battery's almost done.
Okay.
And my charger's in the car. It's been great. It's been real. And I'm going to keep listening. And if I got an opinion, I will definitely share it.
Oh, man. Appreciate you joining. That's Chef T.
All right. Peace and love, everybody.
All right, bro. Thank you. Michelle,
Yes,
you had
sir.
something you wanted to add.
Yeah, it's because in the chat, I've been asked why I chose this topic. And I just wanted to answer like honestly, and this has been a really interesting insight from everybody. I'm actually surprised that everybody has been very rational, very like, coming from their point of view, and they've been delivering honestly, because Dave, that we've had these conversations and it gets very emotional. And I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to bring this, because we always allow emotions to get in the way. Like Corey just said, like, yeah, we're usually just to see who wins, like butting heads to see. This is not about winning. And this is about having the true conversation to see if we can really handle it. And it's because the last time we were talking, it came out because we talked about Elon. Remember? So it's been difficult to talk about things like these. But I think that the most important thing is, can we agree to disagree, like respectfully disagree with each other? And, I'm liking that, Dre has been saying his things that I really agree with, and everybody else. And I don't think that we need to make it about politics. I don't think we need to make it about race. And this is why I keep pushing sometimes with, I don't see color. I don't live my life based on my culture, based on my traditions, based on my skin color. And I don't mean to be insensitive to anybody. I don't do it to offend, but I just proved the point right now, because when I say that, some people get offended. And it's just like, did I really say something insensitive, or I just don't see things the way that other people see? So everything is very subjective here. And I think I want to make it more constructive and objective. Like, what is more important right now? The love that we have for each other, or the friendship that we have for each other, than two guys that you put over there in your logo here in the main screen. Are they the ones separating us as a society, or are we doing it ourselves? That's the other question that we need to ask. That's it.
Go ahead, Sharad.
I got a question for you, Michelle. A couple
Sure.
things. Based on what you just said, you said that you don't see race and you don't see color.
Not how I live my life personally. Like, right. I don't go around and complain. Right. If things don't go well, I don't say it's because I'm Mexican. Right. If I don't get a job or anything like that, I don't play that.
Right. Understood. My question to you is, could you fathom that race still matters in America?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not denying the existence of it. Right. I'm just saying, like, there's a game of cards over there. I choose just not to play it, but it's there. But
you're not choosing to play them doesn't necessarily mean that them cards ain't being dealt and them cards ain't being played.
I agree.
So I just, the two people that you see at the bottom of the screen, one more than the other, has shown a tendency to revel in divisiveness and ensuring that race still matters is more prevalent than ever, with things that are said, things that are done, and actions that have been taken just within the last week. He is the catalyst in the equation, right, of this card game. So as a leader, you would expect for a person to galvanize individuals, to bring them together on one accord and not be divisive.
Yeah, but if he cannot do it, are we just going to stand there doing nothing? We have to do it ourselves, and we need to be better than that.
No. Absolutely. But we know how the game is played, though.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the cards being played. See, we know how race works, because your community, you personally may not have been affected by race, so you may not empathize with it as much as someone of my background growing up in rural or South Carolina, or even in Philadelphia, where you don't, if you're from North Philly, you don't go to South Philly.
I mean, we have, I cannot speak for a bunch of people in my culture, but I know people that have been, racially profiled because they're Mexican. They have been, rejected. They have been judged. Yes, of course, we have suffered racism in my community.
But
I think that
choose not to talk about it.
No, we actually do talk about it. What we do different, and this is not I'm saying that you guys do it wrong. It's
Right.
just that as Mexicans, we are raised to work. We are raised to be out there and just work and get shit done and be better than that. And if somebody says, "Oh, because you're a spick or this and that," we're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna spit on your food and move on." And then we move on.
Right.
Because we're taught like that. We're raised to be like, we're not raised to be afraid or be like, you're gonna go into the world and people are gonna be mean to you because you're Mexican, because you're brown. Because no, we're like, hey, you know what? A trabajar. We can't,
Gotta keep working.
Gotta work.
yeah,
Gotta
we gotta
work.
keep working.
Gotta work.
We can't not
So
necessarily
I want
waste
to.
time, but we can't just keep
But
focusing on
Mexicans
that.
are the
Very
preferred
different.
work. Not
Yeah.
Mexicans. I don't know the proper term to say, but
Hispanics, if you will. Yeah.
Hispanics. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. See, that's what I always say when I don't know something. Hispanics, regardless of how much people may say they don't like them or call them names, that's still the first people they choose to do the work. And with Black people, they automatically assume a lot of the times, not all of the times, that they're not going to provide top-notch service. They're lazy. They don't want to deal with them. They steal. They're criminals. They're this, that, and the other. And
That's the perception.
so, yeah, that's a
That's
perception. And
that's
because of
perception, but we have to remember where
that,
the
keeps them
perception
from,
comes from.
Well, the
Correct.
perception comes
right,
from
Hold on,
the
experience.
accountability part.
hold on. I want to say this.
Absolutely.
We got to think about immigrants and we got to think about slaves. Slaves did not choose to come to this country. Slaves did not choose to give free labor. Slaves were not rewarded for the labor that they gave for over 200 and some odd years. And we got to remember when immigrants come over, including immigrants from Mexico, a lot of times it's by choice. They're choosing to force their way in, do it legally, do it illegally. However, they want to come to the United States, and they're happy to provide labor at whatever lower cost because it's better than the pay wages they would have got back in their home country. It's a big difference between an entire race of enslaved people and their descendants that were never acknowledged, rewarded, repaired, or restored for the building of and respected for the building of the country. That's different than now that the country's built and the train is moving and the system's going. People want to jump on and say, "Hey, I want to build and I want to build up too." And they're like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna reward you, immigrant, with low pay, but hey, at least you're getting a job because guess what? In your home country, you wasn't getting a job." Slaves were not even awarded jobs. Slaves were like, "Okay, you're free. Guess what? You're free. You ain't got no land, you ain't got no jobs, you ain't got no education." So this is what I mean. And this is what I want to say to people that may think, "Oh, David keeps talking about race," or David. No. This is Black people, the children of slaves, were never restored, respected, repaired, or any of or replenished or any of that. Or compensated. So what I'm saying is, did you know that your DNA can contain coding for up to 4 generations? If your father's father's father was an alcoholic, you might have a tendency to be alcoholic. If your father's father was a crack addict, you might have a tendency for crack. If your father's father's father was damaged by racial injustice in this country, and then so was your father's father, and so was your father, you might have a tendency to be like, "Hey, hold on, man, I'm sensitive to this because I've seen this and it's in my literal DNA." That needs to be respected by those that want to address. Let's just move on and let's not bellyache and let's not whine and let's not be victims. Ain't nobody telling a woman of sexual assault don't be a victim. Ain't nobody telling a Jewish person from the Holocaust don't be a victim. No, we're saying restore that person, help them heal, then we can move on. And America never did that for us. And this is why some people like myself feel so strongly about it. That's all I'm saying. That perspective is not emotional, it's valid and it's real. And so immigrants versus the children of enslaved, two different things.
Well, I
That was well said,
I
Dave.
totally agree with that. It's like the thing is, it's like I totally agree with the fact that you come into this world, come into the country. We came in as slaves, but I'm also like to tell you the truth, I don't believe any Black people should be paying taxes at all. since you're not going to give us reparations and all that other stuff. And they keep saying, well, reparations wasn't given out. Reparations wasn't given out. Reparations was given out. It was given out to all the slave owners for each slave they lost. You know, then they told us to go on about your business, figure it out, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I don't have no boots, but okay. You know what I'm saying? So we had to figure it out. We're very resilient people because we have figured it out and built communities where we spent our own money. Every single time we built our own communities, it was destroyed by what? White people. You know, they always destroyed it, and they keep saying, well, Black people can never get it together. Yeah, every time we do, y'all tear it down. You know how many cities that we've had where we circulated our own money? We had doctors, lawyers, everything in our own communities, you know, but they tore it down every time. Look at what happened in Tulsa. Look at what happened in Florida, Rosewood. Look what happened in New York, which is now Central Park. That used to be a Black city, you know, but I mean, it happens everywhere, you know, but that's the problem with that. But on the same side, I do not consider myself a victim of anything, you know, where I like, because I can go out here and start my own business, you know what I'm saying, which I have, you know, and I can achieve what I want to achieve with this business. But I'm not going to think like if I walk down the street, I'm not going to just point out everything. This is what I like when I used to be a date coach. And I would talk to young men and I would say, look, when you walking down the street and you see a bunch of women, a crowd of women, and you walk by and they're snickering and laughing or whatever, what do you think? They're like, I think they're talking shit about me. I said, well, I'm a little different. I think they're checking me out. And they're just whispering to each other, laughing like, ain't he cute? So I said, it's all in perspective. I'm not denying that there's racism because I'm 55 years old. I've experienced it. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of times. But my whole thing is I still won't consider myself a victim because I got my own two hands. I know how to make things happen, and I'm going to make things happen, and I'm going to use the system to get it to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go through whatever I have to go through to get to that next level and beyond.
Yeah. I have a little response real quick to you, Jay, regarding the whole immigration thing. Yes, we go and we come to this country to have a better life. And I understand where you come from when you say that you guys have been slaves and all that. And I've always agreed with you and in that sentiment and that, you know, yeah, it's horrible that you guys got the short end of the stick. That's what I call it. I hope I'm not being offensive with that. But here's the thing. We're in 2025 and us Mexicans are taking the jobs because a lot of people have the opportunity to take it, but they won't. And I agree with Dre when he says, like, you know what? I'm not going to victimize myself because I can do whatever I want. If you wanted to, Dre, you can go and take any Mexican's job. It's just people choose not to. So here we are.
Well, you have to look at it this way. Here's the thing. If I'm an American person and you have to pay me this much money, and it's like, okay, well, then an illegal immigrant may come in and they say, well, I'll do it for cheaper. Guess what? I'm not doing it for people because you're not allowed to pay me.
That's the part that sucks. But if we put white people or other people that are smarter and they know your rights better, then eggs are still going to be $12 or more. And then, you know, produce is going to be more expensive as well.
I'm kind of on both sides of that. I mean, you have people that are smarter, but you have people that are raping the system. What I mean by that is you have employers know that they have to pay these employees X amount of money, this American. And they also know that they can cut their costs by bringing in these people to work the lands, you know? So that's a tough situation.
It's a very tough situation. So it's more like a case by case sometimes.
No, it ain't tough.
Go ahead, Rob.
I own a farm, right? Anybody here ever worked on a farm?
Yep.
Okay.
I picked stuff before.
And I vowed when I was a kid, I said, note to self, I'm not gonna be out here in this sun, this heat. There gotta be another fucking way. Not gonna do it.
Exactly correct.
Not gonna do it. I'm not cutting ditch banks. I'm not harrowing soil. So what did I do? I went to college and majored in something that I could then take back to my family to make the farm work itself. I ain't picking no cotton. I've picked cucumbers. I know what it is to pick cucumbers for 50 cents a bucket. I'm not doing that anymore. Again, I said I've been blessed. I've been blessed to have enough common sense to say note to self. See, this is the other part that we don't talk about, Michelle. some of the jobs that some of your people will take, some of my people will not take. Now that can go back to pride and ego. We didn't done that for 400 years. Whatever they want to say, we've done that. We've been there, done that. Now, individuals that you may know, they will come in and take those lesser paying jobs because that's the only job they can get for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just because they're uneducated. It's just because maybe they don't speak the language, so there's a language barrier. Maybe they come illegally, so that's the only thing they can do and stay under the radar. There's a bunch of different reasons that we really don't talk about the crust of it. But,
yeah, no, totally agree. That's why we're like omnipresent
so
in
I'm
kitchens.
You're not gonna see me. You're not gonna see me in Fresno, California, picking goddamn avocados. I'm not gonna do it. I don't have to do it though. There's a difference. See, there's a difference with being hungry and starving. See, a lot of us are hungry, acting like we starving. See, some of the people that I've seen, I lived in El Paso, Texas. I know what it is to see people crossing over waters. So, them people starving. There's a different mindset. They don't have the same mindset I had. They starving. See, I'm hungry and I'm complaining. They starving and they ready to do anything to not starve anymore. So it's
Can I
all
add?
about your perspective, right?
Can I add something to it? So now add to that concept of some black people are going to say, man, I picked cotton for 400 years. I'm not about to pick cotton. Add to that. Hey, I actually went to college. I have a degree. I don't have to pick cotton because
Don't have to.
I've gone through the system and I've worked my way up. But what happens when a false glass ceiling is put on our head and we're not offered the job? Even though we got the degree, we got the education, we're not offered the same job as the white man, or we're not offered the same pay as the white man. Or, Lord have mercy, if they really do some stuff and they be like, no, you ain't getting these jobs and you're just discriminated against because the good old boys are back in power. You could literally be a qualified black person, a qualified brown person. And if racist people get in power, you might not get a job even though you qualify. Now it's like, okay, I'm being relegated to the jobs as a waiter, as a janitor, as a maid. I'm being relegated to that because the system is stacked against me. But even they don't want to hire me because they can go get cheaper labor from the illegal immigrant that came in that's starving, literally starving. So then you create a class of people that are in the middle, like, damn, I can't go up and I can't go down. And America's not helping me. So I definitely agree with you, Dre. I don't want to walk around as a victim. I don't believe in that. I went to Georgia Tech. I got a PMP. You know what I'm saying? I've made decent money for a long time. There's no way I want to walk around and be a victim. But I don't want to, and I'm not saying you have done this, Dre and Michelle. I'm not saying you've done it. I'm saying just for David. I don't want to walk around with a blind eye because I've made it to a certain level and I live in Los Angeles and I do well. I don't want to turn a blind eye to possible injustices that could harm people that haven't leaped and made those hurdles yet. You know what I'm saying? Family members,
That is
friends.
greatly appreciated.
That's all I'm saying.
I completely agree with
That's
you.
a very rare thing. Oh, sorry, Dre. One quick second. I'm always trying to be quick. Michelle, the second part of what you said, I don't want that to be overlooked at all. You said something important about loving each other, right? You said, okay, why can't we get past this? I'm big on love. My thing usually says love is life. Love is life. That's my thing. But I'm also very like observant. I'm always trying to be careful about everything. You know, when you're in a relationship and someone is telling you constantly they love you, but they're cheating on you, or someone is saying that they're your friend, but they're taking money out of your, is it real love? Like sometimes you have to like really, I agree with you. Why can't we love each other? Why can't we?
But
But
be
if you know
honest
you have
about it,
these
not just like
underlying feelings, yes.
not
If we know
just
we
throw
have
the
these
words, and
underlying,
I think that's part of it. We need to be very careful with the words that we say, the labels that we
but
put, the
very
things
honest
that we say.
also.
Yeah, honest, completely. But it's just
Because
like,
sometimes you don't love a person for real.
Right. Yeah, we
Once you talk
cannot
about certain
throw.
things.
I think we need to be very careful. We cannot throw the word love just like that. Just like we cannot throw the word Nazi, hater,
Yeah,
racist
true.
and all that.
Oh,
I
that word's
think that
been
we
thrown
really,
around a lot lately.
yeah, very,
Nazi,
very
Hitler, all
careful.
that. So it's like, whoa.
But
Well, we
that's
talked about
that's
this the
why it's
other day.
important to know
Hmm.
what a person really feels about something, because you might think that you're in a loving friendship or a loving something until a certain thing comes up. And then one person might be saying, let's just look past this. We love each other, we're friends. But it's like, me as a person, if someone is cheating on me, I don't give a damn how much time they spend with me, how many gifts they buy me. You might feel like you love me, but your actions are telling me this is not love, and I'm not going to want to look past it. So I only use that as an example, not because I don't think you're racist at all. But
That's a
if I
good
had a
topic.
friend,
That's a good topic right
if,
there.
No,
If
no, it
you
ain't.
get cheated on,
No, it
does the
ain't.
person
if I
love
Let,
had
you?
let, let, let her
No, it
land a
ain't.
plane. Land a plane, Susie. Land a plane.
Mhm.
Okay, if I had a friend that felt a certain way about Black suffering or Black ideologies that's kind of like hurtful, and I know I'm a Black person, I'd be like, I don't think my friend loves me for real. If they feel this way, they can't compartmentalize me out of the whole thing. I'm a part of that. That's all I was saying.
That ain't
Or
got
they
nothing to
or
do with
or they don't
love,
or they
Susie.
don't understand me. Or they don't understand me.
Yeah,
Look at
that ain't got nothing to
Sherrod.
do with
Go
love.
ahead, Sherrod.
That ain't got nothing to do with love. Stop confusing love. That ain't got nothing to do.
That's my
Listen,
point.
love
Exactly.
is a transitional word. That shit is only as good for the last thing you did for that person. That ain't got nothing to do with love.
You're the
I
emotionless man.
disagree.
How you
No,
gonna
no, no,
speak
no,
on
no, 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 no.
love?
I'm no, 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 no,
You
no.
know, can I?
No, 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 no.
How you gonna talk
I'm
Emotional.
that?
not.
Let's
No,
talk
I'm
about
not.
it.
I
No, 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 no,
disagree.
no.
I need
I'm
to.
not I'm not
I'm
emotional.
coming to you next, Tina. Go ahead, Sherrod. Land
I'm
a
not
plane.
emotionless.
Land a plane.
I'm in touch with myself. I know who I am. I know thyself. I know my emotions. The problem is I don't revel in love and all that bullshit. I revel in logic, as most men do. Women are more empathetic. They're more caring. That's the way it was designed to be. Like my job is a hunter and
Now
a
you know that
gatherer.
was chauvinistic. You just said, by the way,
That's
No,
okay. I can
no,
with
that
accept
was
these
not.
that.
women on this panel.
I
I
am
just want to say that.
no, no, no.
That ain't
I
what I
embrace
was
that.
gonna say, but for the
I
record,
embrace that. You
okay.
have your feelings. That's fine. That doesn't change my perspective. I'm in. I know who I am. But women are more cherishers, more loving than men are. They teach us how to love. That's why we. That's why. Why you think we mama's boys? Our mothers pour into us. Where you think we get it from? We get our game from women.
And then you go to the women you get with and tell them that you don't have no emotions for them because that's a feminine trait,
I've
and
never
that you're a
no 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 no
man.
no no no
That
no.
is
That's not
not.
true. That's an
Come
I
on,
assumption.
gotta
No
man.
no no
Make
no
it
no.
make
gotta
sense,
That's an
comment on
Sherrod.
that.
assumption.
I
That,
gotta
that's an
comment
Man,
on
you
that.
assumption.
went
I
straight,
have
Sherrod. You
no.
got
I have
women on this panel that
Hold on,
you
hold on,
want
hold
to
on,
no.
hold
be
That's
on.
fine.
chauvinist.
Hold on.
I have
I gotta comment.
absolutely
I
no
gotta
Hold on,
back
hold
the
on.
man
problem.
up.
I have absolutely no problem telling the woman I love or the women I've loved or anyone I love them. I tell Dave all the time, hey man, before we got the phone, just about every time, I love you, brother. I
Love you,
don't have a
man.
problem telling a woman that
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
Damn, am I a
Okay.
woman? And now, am I a woman? Did
Zero.
Rogers call me a woman?
No, I
Let
didn't
me
call you a
You know,
woman.
Okay.
I want to say
go
something
on that. Let
about.
me go on that,
I,
please.
I want to
What I
say
was
something.
saying,
Oh, dang.
I
Okay.
want to
Well, hold on.
say.
You've been trying to say something, Dre.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I
Tina.
want to say, even though my family's been in business and we have for 110, 111 years, the power structure is the same. It's always at the top. And we all struggle. And even on the phone, I hear a lot of I's. I don't hear a lot of we's. We Black folks don't get together. I talk about product integration. I talk about getting businesses together. It's always, well, my business. I. We never come together as a unit and say, okay, I really want to buy TikTok. As a Black woman, get folks together to do it. People think that I think way up here because I don't look at one or two generations. I'll say, what did your great 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 grandfather do? Did he pick
Mm.
cotton? If he picked cotton, did he invent something? If he invented something, he had to go tell the slave master that it would work, how it would work, and that he could sell it to everybody in the area. He still got beat. He still had to pick cotton, but his shoes were better, and the roof on his house was better. So black people surviving is not a strength. That's what we do. But when you pass down in your DNA entrepreneurship, that you get together and you work, even Steve Jobs and Bill Gates were partners. They loaned each other money, and we think that one on one and one on the other one did not. Curtis and the Wright brother, it wasn't Curtis Wright. Curtis was a different person than the Wright brothers, but he had to give them the engine because the plane wouldn't. We won't do that. We don't get together. What Michelle is saying is, listen, by hook or crook, we gonna get together and do what we got to do. We don't care if we Spanish. I'm saying by hook or crook, we will not do that. We say I, and we will not come together as a unit and say your lane is this, you're great at this, your lane is this, and your lane is this, and we get together and we do it.
And even that
I
is a
actually
product of slavery, because we were not allowed
Absolutely.
to speak to each other. We weren't allowed to read. We weren't. Our families were split.
We're gonna have to go back and see the good part of that. Find somebody in our DNA that did do something, so we have something different to pull from. I have 100 years to pull from. We all have something. All of us on this panel, because we are business people. That's in our DNA. It came from somewhere. We're not first generations. It came from somewhere. But we don't want to. We you know what? Lou Gossett was my client. We started Kunta and Kizzy. I was like, Kunta and Kizzy, did they not tell you they had a farm? He's like, no, they didn't. I said, well, they should have, because it tilted history in the wrong direction. So we go from Kunta and Kizzy to Martin Luther King to rappers. That's our platform. But there was some, and then we say, well, and then we look at Tulsa. But every time we see people on Black Wall Street, what do we see? We see older people with cotton dresses on, bad hair day, and everything. And we say, well, darn, if they were so wealthy, how come their great-great-grandchildren looking like this? We pull from nothing. And we feel because slavery wasn't nothing, we have to find some other things to pull from so that we can show our greatness. Because it's really about what have you done for yourself. She's right. If we don't start doing for ourselves to get to where we want to be, we ain't gonna get no help. And 100 more years from now, our great-great's gonna be having the same conversation while she's gonna have ownership.
Hey,
Well,
let me
Michelle
jump
is gonna
in
have
because
ownership.
we're 30 minutes over. We're 30 minutes, so we normally end at 2 hours. So I'm gonna let everybody make a final statement. We don't give you like 60 seconds. Dre, you were gonna say something, and then let's start the round table.
I agree with her, but I did also speak on it. Everyone keeps asking the same thing. Why can't we get together? Why can't we get together? The problem is every time we get together and do something, it's been taken from us in history. And they always clump us in this group that, black people can't do nothing for themselves. They won't do anything for themselves. Every time we've done something for ourselves and we've achieved that, it was always taken away from us. So of course we learn in that mentality that we can't do it for ourselves. That's the problem. We have to break through that. Now, to what man was speaking about, Rob was speaking about, I wanted to speak of that before we went to this, about the love and different emotions that people feel and all this other stuff. He's correct, and he's correct in a lot of things he said, but a lot of times women will say, that's chauvinistic, or that's not being a man. And the thing is, you've never been a man, so you can't tell a man what being a man is. Just because you said, my daddy was this way, does not mean you actually know what a man is. Now, the thing is, the truth is, logically, men do think more logically, and women do think more emotionally. Now, I look at like my my fiance. We just had a brand new baby, as you know, Dave. We had a brand new baby. I raised my son by myself. Thank you, guys. I raised my son by myself, who was 25 years old. I see the difference. Like how she's never had a child before, and how she's so attentive more than me. And it's like this. I'm not like that. I can't even feel like she feels for that baby. You know what I mean? So I see the nurture. You know what I mean? I see the nurture where the baby starts crying, and I'm going to do what I have to do because I'm the baby's daddy. I'm her father. But it's still like, oh my God, this baby is crying. Where she's just like, oh well, it's this what I can't give all of that because that emotion isn't like that, like hers. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if you sit there and pay attention to how guys act and how girls act, you see the differences in them. You see guys aren't as emotional. Like, for one, these girls, the ladies are saying today that men need to get in touch with their feelings. They need to cry and all this other stuff. To tell you, ask me this, tell me this, tell me the truth. If your man came home to you crying every day about something, you're going to look at him like, why is this man always crying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be honest about that. There's differences between us, and it doesn't make it a bad thing, but there are differences between us.
Hey guys, we're at 2 hours and 35 minutes. We need to end the show. I could do a round table, but instead of doing a round table, does anyone feel like they have a point that wasn't made or they just want to give a closing statement? If you do, just do 30 seconds. Anyone?
I just want to say that, it's great that we love each other, like Susie said, that we try, but there's something very important, David, don't forget, you cannot force people to do something, number one, and you cannot set conditions. That has to be very, very important, because the moment we say, well, yeah, but that's when we're setting the conditions, and we cannot change anybody. So we need to learn to accept each other the way that we are. Otherwise, we're never going to get anywhere or any relationship with anybody. So
That's a great point. That's a great point. Hey man, I want everyone to love everyone. I would love for everyone to have agape love, unconditional love, like God has for mankind. But I know that none of us are perfect, and I know that we all are going to have some limitations. And you know what? We might have conditions, we might have requirements, we might have standards, or however we want to put it. We may have something that stops us from going so far, or we may go past that and say, you know what? I'm willing to just love this person regardless. I'm gonna say this to everyone on here. I love all of y'all. Y'all are all my friends. Difference in political beliefs, it's not so strong that you're not my friends. I mean that. Michelle, Dre, Sherrod, Corey, everybody that was on tonight, y'all are all my friends. Y'all are all my friends. And if I'm not mistaken, all of y'all were invited to the wedding in some way or another, whether you made it or not. And that means that I care about you. Because guess what? The people that didn't get invited, I didn't give a fuck about them that much. Like, I care, but not that much. You ain't about to get up in my circle. So y'all have been invited into the circle, and you're on the show, and that's another circle of mine. So I really appreciate it. And thanks for hearing me out. I'm passionate, but I'm not unreasonable. So I want y'all to know the passion I have about race and making sure that Black people are defended and respected and understood. It's there. But I'm also not going to go so far as to say I'm right about everything, or I'm definitely not a victim and the sky is not falling. I'm not Chicken Little or the boy who cried wolf. I don't do that. But I do defend my point vigorously because I feel strongly about it. But that doesn't mean that your points aren't valid. Your points are valid. All right. We're going to rock out, y'all. It's been a great show. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Big Corey G. Thank you, Dre. Thank you, Sherrod. Thank you, Susie, for coming on back. And thank you, Michelle. Appreciate y'all.
Yo, fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
See you guys.
We see you on the next episode of After Dark, man. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate y'all.